So, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Demetra K Show. It is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Walter, who is also known as the Candle Man. He actually has quite a few names. Walter, if you can mute your turn your TV off. I don't want YouTube to think that we're bootlegging a movie or something like that. So anyway, that's Walter, and this is Wealth Wednesdays, where we talk about financial things, how to make money, how to save it, anything in between. But we also like to talk about things that are trending. So today we're going to talk about what I call the brick saga, because it has turned into somewhat of a saga. Brother Reggie, how you doing? I hit you up on YouTube, but I don't see that you answered me back as far as where we could meet you. But next time. So anyway, of course, you guys have been hearing a lot about what happened with the young woman. I think her name was Rosa, that got hit in the face with a brick. At least that's what she's saying happened to her. So we're going to have that discussion. And I'm kind of hesitant to have that discussion for a whole host of reasons. Because I've seen the conversation online regarding it. And I'm going to show her video as to her explaining it. And we're going to have a discussion about it. And of course, we're going to talk about marriage, the real cost of marriage. And Walter wants to share a true story with us. I think it should be rather good. So anyway, how you doing, Walter?
I'm doing good. Just working around the clock, working one of my multi streams of income in case Joe Biden get reelected again. I'm gonna be ready.
So anyway, that's Walter. And of course, you guys know he always has a lot to say. Let me say hello to everybody on here. And for you guys, when I said welcome back, you guys know that Donovan, I, and my daughter were in Tokyo for about a week. And of course, we'll get into all of that. I am still reeling from different time zones because I actually started traveling a couple of days before I went to Tokyo, because I had to go to California, and we met Donovan there, then got back. So I was on Tokyo time, which is, depending on where you are, if you're in California, 16 hours ahead of California. Then I got to California. I'm from Houston, or I live in Houston. So I was 2 hours behind. So I'm still kind of reeling. So you guys forgive me. It may not be my fault for anything that I might say today. All right. So let's get into it. But let me say hello to who's on here really quick. So Rodney, he said, I hit him with a brick and I'm dancing. Ice Cube and Dr. Dre, Natural Born Killers. What is it? F. Charlie Manson, snatch him out the truck, hit him with a brick, now I'm dancing. Of course, we know that's a, not that it's funny, a reference to Reginald Denny, the truck driver that was hit in the head during the Rodney King riots. But yeah, okay, I don't know if that applies here. Skin Therapist Guru, how you doing? Thank you so much and welcome back. And Facts Not Feelings, how you doing? JBWR, what's going on with you? And Quita, how are you? Maureen, what's going on? Renz G, how are you? Robert, what's going on? Oh, thank you so much. And Buzzer Cam, how you doing? Long time no see. Troy, how are you? And Marshawn, Disney Diva, speaking of which, we did go to Tokyo Disney. I liked it. It was a lot smaller than the other Disney. So anyway, thank you. Said love your hair. Yeah, y'all know I got to keep it easy. Do something easy. So right now, this is easy. Brother Reggie says, oh, I DM'd you on IG as I thought that would be quicker. No worries next time. So I don't always get my messages on IG or any of my inboxes because I'm just not always in there or on social media like that. I should have given you either Donovan or I's number so that way it would have been easier. But of course, I didn't want to put that on YouTube. But next time, we plan on going back. All right. And so Facts Not Feeling says she was talking greasy. Where'd it go? About black men. Yeah, we're going to get into all that. Jan Michael, how you doing? And Rodney, how are you doing? Says, let's build the story brick by brick. Oh, you think you funny, huh? King of Sorrows, how you doing? I am glad to be back. And Melanin 100, how are you? And Fishing with Rick, how are you doing? I have seen your story all over the internet. And, you know, I've seen you posting all the stories online that you've done the news stories and stuff. So I hope your story continues to get out. And Joe, how are you doing? Jimmy James, Tracy, and Mona Kiba. I hope I said that right. How you doing? He says she's not even FBA. So what is the problem? I've seen that discussion as well. So we're going to get into it Monica, if I didn't already. How you doing? He says, welcome back. Yeah, to me and everybody else. He says, you are from Canada. Queen Nana Bingay. I know I messed that up, but how you doing? So, all right, let's get into it. And Skylar, how are you doing? Oh, he says, okay, I will ask me a question about life insurance later on, and I will be more than happy along with Walter. All right, so I've taken long enough time. All right. So this one young woman, I think her name is Rosa, don't quote me. Apparently, from what she is saying, she was hit in the face with a brick. So I'm going to let her tell the story, and then we'll get into it.
Me in my face with a brick, and all these black men just watch, and they don't give a fuck. The brick is. Yeah, this man hit me, fucking grabbed a rock, and he hit me in my face because I would have given him my number. What the brick is? All y'all watch. Y'all see that shit? Y'all see that shit? What y'all do? I want y'all to be a man. I want y'all to be a man and fucking do something. Y'all gonna let a man hit me in my face? All y'all niggas. Have I ever done to anybody in my life to deserve this? I never did anything in my life to hurt anybody. Literally, a man asked me for my number. I said no, and he picked up a brick in front of so many men and was like, what you gonna do? And I told all these men, like, yo, why this man got a brick on my face? And he's holding a brick and all watching, and nobody does nothing. And he hits me in my face, and then they all just watch. And then get in a car.
All right, so that, and again, I think her name is Rosa. I really meant to look to verify that, but forgive me if I have her name wrong. So anyway, that was her telling her story. Sounds like she's in Houston. This took place in Houston. How you doing, Common Man? Yeah, you crazy. So it sounds like that happened in Houston, where apparently, from what she was saying, I'm just telling y'all what she said, that she refused to give a guy her number, and he then went about hitting her in the head or her face or whatever with a brick. So that was her at the emergency room as well, kind of saying that basically he hit her in the head because she refused to give him her number. And other guys, black men, and the N-word, so she used some other choice words that I tried my best to bleep out, stood around and watched it happen. And in fact, they watched him get in the car, and I don't know if they got in the car with him and left. So she's basically saying that the man that did that to her was not held responsible for what happened. Now, I will tell y'all this. I have seen and heard a lot of the conversation that has gone on around the internet. It's all over the place. But one thing I've never heard anybody say is that she put her hands on him, right? So I've also heard stories that she had a habit of running around slapping men. Now, I did see the video of her slapping a white man, but in that particular video, I'm going to put this up so I can show it to you. She goes on to say that it was a skit. So hold on one second. Because I want to show it to you. Okay. Oops. Share. All right. So, and I actually got this from a TikToker who did, I think, a marvelous job of outlining the differences in between what was said and what was actually happening. So she took a portion of, I think her name was, so her name is Ro on here. So maybe it is Rosa, where it says, indeed, we're all God's children, but where is his favorite? We're his favorite. I think she's trying to say, it says, this is activism and consensual, and I do not promote actual violence. I think that's what it says. So basically, it was a skit about reparations and, you know, white men for what she was saying. So what I'm saying is a lot of people are saying the video in question of her just getting hit with a brick actually came from her slapping that white man, and then she got hit in the face with a brick. But people are saying, no, it's a skit. And it does say, I guess on her page, it doesn't sound like it's up now, that it indeed was a skit. So somehow people have merged the two stories together. And I want to put this up here as well. So I can show you guys better than I could tell you. So the other, the TikToker that I actually went to and I saw that she put a great job putting this together, she showed the differences because people were saying that the day that she, during the skit that she slapped the white man, that was the same night. Well, when I saw the videos, I was like, well, clearly it's not the same video because her hair is different. Her shirt is different. The shirt that where I guess that would be to the right of me, where she has the bump on her face. It's not a lace shirt. And the fact, I think the back is out of that shirt, but the one with she, the white man, the back's not out. And the necklaces are different. So clearly it's not the same video. But a lot of people went on to try to draw a correlation between her slapping the white man in a skit and saying it was the same day. So I just wanted to kind of do my due diligence to say that it was not indeed the same day, it was not the same video. It was a skit. So that's not why she got hit in the face per se. All right, so let's continue on here. Let me remove this. Now, I've also heard a lot of testimony from people who said that they were there. And some of the words that came out of that about her is that she brought it on herself, that she is, hold on a second, I'm trying to make sure my mic is not slipping. I think it is. She's a troublemaker. She goes around harassing people. She is seeking attention. A lot of people said they're waiting on more information to come out. And a lot of other people said they still wouldn't help her. That if, you know, they were there and that happened to her, they wouldn't help her, you know, like, oh, the hell well type of thing, right? And that, you know, she deserved the brick to the face. Now, it sounds like maybe she's, I don't know, trying to be an internet sensation where she's trying to go viral or something with some of the things that she's doing and she's saying. So some people are trying to say, well, this was part of it. But out of all the things that I've said, whether it was men or women talking about the situation with the brick, I haven't heard one person say that she actually put her hands on that man, whoever this man is. I don't know if he's been caught or what. Of course, I have heard the conversation of, you know, she didn't call the police. I don't know if she called the police or not. I don't have any information about that. Why did she go live, or why did she go to social media? You know, if she was so hurt, you know, so there's a lot of questioning going on. Y'all know me. I'm gonna do my best to hold my opinion until the end, but I do want to get Walter's opinion, the candle man, if he's still there. Did your candles go out? I don't know. And then I'm gonna put the link up, and I'm gonna I am gonna reluctantly listen to everybody. But let me see who else came on here, Walter, before I give the ball to you. Hopefully you were listening. Rodney. You say no man is required to cover a woman when they have no covenant. She has videos talking greasy, and women are the true protectors. She has a record of being anti-man. So there you go, sad. Okay, Mr. Pie Brain, how you doing? Says she slapped that man in the face first. You don't get to decide his response. So as you can see, I debunked that. Hopefully I did. Facts Not Feelings says I will never put my life on the line for a random woman. These women hate men and talk especially about not needing black men. Okay, and Rain, how you doing? And JBWR says maybe skit goes wrong now. She's a charity case. I don't know. And yes, somebody said that she has a GoFundMe now. I guess she's raised about $30,000. So I don't know what that's totally about. Rain says since when black immigrants address themselves as black. All right. And Jimmy says she should have used that black girl magic and conjure up a man to protect her. Abracadabra, yapple dapple. Wow. Tracy's, and how you doing? It says Dr. Richie covered a part of the story. She's well educated and she does skits and whatnot. It doesn't matter if she's one of us or not. Only a punk will hit a woman with a brick, period. Like I said, I'm gonna reserve my opinion you know, till later on. Iron Will, how you doing? And Kiki, how you doing? It says, hey Demetra, I'm so glad you're talking about this. Yeah, I figured the first day back I would really want to dust it up a little bit. Black America, how you doing, baby? You say brick that high cube 25. How you doing? Says she is the average of a typical black woman. She has the spirit of feminism, racism, rudeness, and loudness, lies, and victimization, and free begging. All right. And comment says, why did she call the cops? She went on TikTok and GoFundMe, but no police report. Interesting. Okay, so the other question is, are we saying it didn't happen? If we're saying that, she did those things or did not call the police, are we saying that it didn't happen? And Kiki says, yes, the matter with the white guy I read was a skit. Yes, it's a skit. Don't ask me how you doing. Says, sisters, y'all credibility is shot. Okay. J Bubba, how you doing? Says, I just want to say shout out to Coach Prime for shutting them folks down last Saturday. Yes, I heard he had a stellar first game, but I think that's to be expected, right? And Monica, you say apparently the exploded with people saying she's an instigator, was calling a man derogatory slurs, still no excuse to hit her. She got a history of instigating fights and then opening a GoFundMe. Okay, and Iron Will, did you say something that I missed? I want to make sure that I didn't, because maybe I did. If I did, I don't see it on here, so forgive me. Okay, all right, skipping on down. And Keith, how you doing? He says, it doesn't matter because she's done video stating she's Somali and not black. So refer to the man and the Somali man, not black. Common Man says, if she didn't do anything, why didn't she call the police? There's no police report. Hello, Thunder. How you doing? Miss Moni, how you doing? I hope you had a wonderful birthday month. You said watching from Detroit, love natural. I love having your hair loose. So thank you. Says, even though another video, this woman did smack a white man, but what right did it have to of a coward to hit her in the face with a brick? Again, that was said to be a skit. And Quanell X, he's on the case. You guys know he's a Houston. Did I say Al? How you doing? Quanell X, he's a Houston, advocate, and he says that we are going to do everything we can to find that man that did to her and bring him to justice. And he better hope the police find him before we find him. All right. And Rain says she got a $17,000 GoFundMe, go shopping and feel better. Okay. King of Sorrow says, I wish people would stop doing those skits. I do too, if you really ask me. Let me skip down a little bit so I give Walter the ball. And Malia's diary, how you doing? Says a man could walk away. He didn't need to attack her with a brick. Oh, it's at 37,000 now. Okay. All right. So let me move down to Kiki says, neither did the eyewitness. He never said she hit the man. He never denied that the guy asked for her number either. I was waiting for the eyewitness to say that she hit him. He never said it. That is true. I never heard anybody say it in Thunder. Ooh, you guys are putting them questions in there. It says, why does it matter if she hit him first? You have freedom of speech and not freedom from consequences of that speech. A man knows not to be reckless with another man. Why didn't she? We're going to get into all these questions. Y'all saying she's a scammer. Ricky say, elephant in the room. If she was a white woman, what would the response would have been, both from law enforcement and the men present? I'm just going to keep on reading. Who else came on here? All right. Walter, you need to turn your TV. Is it paused or is it off?
It's paused.
Okay, I think that ought to be good. Yeah, because sometimes we don't want YouTube to think that we're pirating. All right. So as you can see, there's a lot of opinion. What is your opinion on this, Walter?
I mean, I watched it. I've watched it actually 2 or 3 times since you've been on, and such what I was doing. I don't have much to say. I'm kind of just, Lord have mercy. One, I don't know why you put this shit on TikTok unless you want the cash. I wouldn't want nobody to know that I got hit with a brick. So I see a lot of people doing this, put all their shit on social media, and you up 50 grand, you know? It takes some people a year to make 50 grand.
So, but in more specifically, what is your opinion about her being hit? And DSB, how you doing? I'm gonna hold my opinion. But what's your opinion about what happened to her? Sans the GoFundMe.
I mean, I think it's criminal. That's jacked up. You shouldn't put your hands on a woman. I mean, but I think we've got to the point where men are off the hook. You know, they're running the streets wild. There's no accountability. Men and women are both acting like buffoons. There's no accountability for it. And the fact that people just watch. Now, I don't know if she got hit. I mean, I saw her face swollen. I'm assuming it's true. But I mean, if it was up to me, we would take people like that and we would just hang them from a tree, gas them in a gas chamber, maybe push them in a meat grinder. I don't know. Just get rid of folks. Stop giving these folks chances and all these rights. Just take them off the planet. Sooner or later, we'll get back to some sort of decency. That's what I would do with these dudes. And to the dudes that stand around, maybe gives them 50 lashes. Maybe a lash for every $1,000 she raised in her GoFundMe. And then back to her, what the hell is she doing in Night of the Living Baseheads? It looked like a Public Enemy video. Was she looking for a hit? Like, I'm watching. I wouldn't be standing in that environment with my homeboys. So sometimes you have to, like, Ice Cube said, if you have a nice shit in the hood is like inviting ants to a picnic. Sometimes you got to be care of your surroundings. And my question is, what is she doing there? Who does she know that socializes in those circles? It's not her fault she got hit with a brick. I mean, a woman says no, that's the end of it. But society has got to the point where it's okay to call women bitches and hoes, tooted and booted. I stole your man, I stole your woman. One margarita, I open my legs. 2 margarita, I'm sucking your thing, or whatever that song is. It's a hit too. It's a hit record. I heard it on Instagram. 3 margaritas. I don't even want to go into. I don't want to know what she does at 3 margaritas, but that's the shit our people are listening to. I was listening to Megan Thee Stallion the other day, and I was like, this used to be the dirtiest music. Like Megan, like what's that song she got? Sama Lama, shit, I don't know. I don't think there's any words to it. But I was telling the person I'm with, this used to be the nasty stuff. The stuff out now make WAP seem like a church record. So when you add all that up, of course, we're going to start acting a fool. And like I said, she shouldn't be there. And 2, those dudes, I don't know. I just think the other dude should have just wrapped him up. Like, do we have a picture of this dude?
I haven't heard anything about it, if anybody knows who he is or anything like that. Let me address this, Thunder, because I've seen a couple people kind of make an issue of it. And it's actually, I guess, a big deal from what I see on Twitter. It says, why is it when Black immigrants do something negative, it's we Black folks need to do better. But if it's positive, no, they're not Black. They're from their country of origin. Yeah. I've seen that conversation in regards to, the immigrants, Black immigrants. Y'all know how I feel. We all Black. We just coming from a different spot. Y'all also know I try not to get into the divisiveness of who's Black American and who's not Black American. I just try to stay out of that because I think we have bigger fish to fry. I really do. Like, we got a whole lot of other things that are dividing us as Black people all over the world. So I just choose not to get into that. But I hear you. I do know that sometimes that Black immigrants do like to dissociate themselves from us when it's something on the up and up. And then when it's not, then it's, us Black people. It's not all of them. It's some of them. So I think that's a fair argument. But I want to be careful when I say what I'm about to say. And I should also say, I love you. Somebody on here asking us if we're transgender, why you want to be with somebody who's transgender? I mean, what are we doing here? But let me do this for you. How about this?
I'm a transgender. I like to transfer the opposite gender into my room and put baby coconut oil on her.
Watch this.
I'm a transfer gender.
Hold on. You trans blocked now. So anyway, back to what we were saying. So I want to be careful when I say this. When we try to say that it wasn't a Black American man, it almost gets into dangerous territory, as though Black American men don't do those things. And I said, I need to be careful, because I'm not saying that all Black American men do those things. They don't. It's probably a really small amount of Black American men that do those things too. But I think we should be very careful in trying to be dismissive of, oh, well, because I've heard people say, oh, Black American men, or let's keep it real, foundational Black American men don't do that. And it's like, where y'all been living at? You know what I mean? I get it. You want the line of demarcation. We ain't like them. They ain't like us. I get it. But I think we should be very careful of the conversation that we have. Because indeed, there's been a lot of, Black women that are no longer here or have been harmed because they have denied giving a man their number. And the woman who originally, I guess, posted it, she says, this is why I always give my number out to everybody who asks, because I don't want, something like this to happen to me. So I think we should be very careful in saying, well, it's not us. It may not be you, but it's men from everywhere, white, black, green, purple, wherever. It's been that way. And I hope that helps. Again, I'm not trying to make anybody upset. All right, so let's see here. Walter, do you have? Yeah, I had to block him. Our block game got to be strong on here because we can't put up with any foolishness. All right, so let me skip down to where I was. And Fly Guy, how you doing today? Blessings to you as well. And Lady Blue, how you doing? And Kiki says, now Walter makes a point with that. I was questioning where she was as well. It didn't look safe. No excuses for her being hit at all, but it didn't look safe. Yeah, I mean, we guys, women, we gotta use wisdom. Like, why are you out at night? Like you said, it did look like a very sketchy environment. You out there. I don't know if there was any other women out there with you, but what is you doing out there that time of night, in that environment? We got to use some wisdom. But again, it's no excuse. She should be able to be out there without somebody bricking her in the head. But yeah, we got to use some wisdom. But it sounds like that's kind of maybe, her thing that I don't know, that she hangs out like that. Black American says, poke the bear, you have to deal with the teeth. Mike, nice. How you doing? Urban Bake, how you doing? He says the stuff out is XXX rated. You ain't lying. King Buck Wild, how you doing? He says a Haitian man. They said, so they said he was Haitian. He very well might have been. And High Cube, he says she is deleting past videos of her being a victim. I did hear that too. So we're saying that there's no picture of the guy. And Angela, how you doing? And Keith, he says no one deserves to be hit with a brick. However, don't blame a whole ethnic of men actions on the men in your ethnic group, and the intensity of the distance from them, the Black people, is proof. Yeah, I get it. But again, I think we should be very careful in saying, well, because like I said, I've heard that conversation that FBA don't do that. And it's like, why are we lying to kick it? Well, why? That's like saying FBA women don't antagonize men. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, come on, let's not lie to kick it. We're going to deal with the truth. Let's deal with the truth. Now, is that on the man who did it? Absolutely. We should not apply that to all men of anything, because all men do not do that. I don't know of any man that will hit a woman upside the head with a brick. I just don't. So, all right, let me skip down. And Thunder says this is always the case, especially when it's dealing with Black men. This can't continue. Got it. Tracy says there's this young guy that says he was there and says she deserved it because she hit a white guy. So a white guy is more protected by our men. Protected by our men and not our women. Wow. I would get into a full-fledged, my alto, but I ain't alto ready just yet. But I'm going to just set that and forget it. Don't ask me. He says, do they get stoned? Do they stone people in Somalia? I don't know. And Denise, how you doing? Says, I've seen her page and look and listen to what person has to say. Go back to past videos. Yes, I heard that she's very problematic. She's speaking negatively about Black Americans and all that kind of stuff. Sounds like maybe too she's from the LGBTQ community. But with all that we know, I'm still waiting for somebody to give me the reason why she deserved to be hit in the head with a brick. I'm just waiting. Rain says he was Somalian. She was around her Somalian community. Got it. And Ricky say it's America. Everyone has a hustle. It's nothing new. If her hustle is posting victim videos and getting paid, then she's found her niche, a very painful niche, but still profitable. Yeah, people doing those dumb little skits online, for clicks and likes and views, be lying, just the whole, just all of it. And a lot of it needs to stop because we've seen people get hurt behind, those skits or whatever. But yeah, she probably does need to find a new shtick. Anita, how you doing? Greetings to you as well. You haven't missed anything. And Marcus, how you doing? Says, I never saw an FBA man hit a woman with a brick. Yes. So, no, I have not seen anybody hit somebody with a brick. But have we seen FBA men hit a woman at all, whether it's with something else, whether it's with his fist or anything, right? So I'm not saying that should be placed on American black men. But what I am saying is we need to be careful of the argument that we're making, because it almost sounds like, oh, they would never do something like that. Would they do something close to it? And again, that's all. Like I said, that's in the same vein as well. FBA women don't antagonize men. They don't do that. All right, so let's see here. Let me skip down. And the comment man says, I don't want to worry about what Africans from other countries say. They'll find out soon enough how black they are in America. The only difference is they can leave and go home when they're tired of it. Yeah, I mean, we could really leave too if we wanted to. Elton, how you doing? Says, greetings. Each individual group must hold their own L's. We are not doing it anymore. Yeah. Can I say this? Can I say this? When we going to start holding our own L's, like for real, for real? Because of the black community here in America, we got a lot of issues, right? So I get not conflating everybody else's issues with ours. But since we talking about holding our own L's, when are we actually going to hold our own L's and fix our community? It says, blame it on the jet lag. Yes, if y'all could hit the like button. Yeah, I don't know about with a brick rain, but yeah, hit it. Thunder says, and there are black men who are not here today because of a woman who put themselves in situations, and a man we throw our lives away for something that was totally avoidable. I 100% agree with you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our father got a limp right now trying to save two people fighting out in the jungle, trying to help somebody, and he got a limp for the rest of his life for a 30-second decision, a 2-second decision, trying to help somebody. You know, I think in his words, queens don't need to be fighting. Well, queens don't fight in the first place. So yeah, this woman doesn't deserve to be hit. And I'm watching some of her stuff, but and I know people say, well, all races act up, but you know what? When a white person go on TV and act crazy, it don't affect me. I don't really care. A Mexican go on TV, an Indian, it don't bother me. It only bothers me when I see black people acting up on TV, because that's us. And it seemed to be more of us. Like, I'm watching all these smash and grab videos, and I know it's other races and everybody doing it too, but you know what? I don't care about them. Not that I don't care about them. I don't care that they're doing it. I care that it's us. And I want to ask you guys a question, something I thought about. I don't have the answer properly formulated, so I'm going to ask it in its original content and let you guys fix it. Is it safe to say that we, not all of us, but some of us can act like buffoons because of slavery and some of the things that happened to us? Does that give us the right to act the way that some of us do? I don't have the question all the way together. It's just something that just kind of popped into my head when I don't know, I'm seeing our people out, and I'm out a lot, and I'm just like, man, what are we doing? Is there somebody that we trust to believe in that we can say, hey, here's how you should act? Or do we, because regardless of what you think this woman is, they're still black people. Only thing is separating us from them is that we took the cruise and they missed it.
And let me say this, Thunder, I'm not putting it on anybody. I'm not putting this on black men, because for one, it's not for me to put on black men. I was not there. And I don't know who did it, but people are saying that it was not a black American man. I had to take their word for it. I'm not putting this on any man. But what I'm saying is, I think we need to be careful of the arguments that we are having, because it almost sounds like, well, black men don't do that. Like I said, it's almost to say that black women don't antagonize men. And I know if I got on here and said black women don't antagonize men, not black women from over here, y'all will be marching up and down, stomping up dust, because I said that. So I'm not putting anything on black American men. I'm saying we need to be very careful that we exclude everybody from that conversation. Now, this particular conversation sounds like it belongs to somebody else. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying we got to be careful. That's all, because I've seen the conversation. FBA don't do this. That's not what FBA doing. It's like, okay, you can have a conversation and say that was a Somalian man or Haitian man or whatever he was. But then when you go and take the extra mile and say, well, that black FBA men don't do that, it's like, come on, man. Now we doing too much. But I'm not putting this on anybody. And I hope I was really clear when I said that in the beginning. All right, so let's see here. Rain said you never got hit with a brick. Well, I think getting hit with a brick is probably rare. It's probably an anomaly. You know what I mean? I don't think being bricked in the head is a normal occurrence. You know what I mean? So and Hazel, how you doing? Says I saw a black man hit a woman with a brick. So you said you've seen it. Common Man says I did hear it was a white boy that hit her hanging out with the Somalis. Time will tell. See, that's the other thing too. People got all these stories about what had happened was, but truthfully, none of us really know, but the people who were there, right? But nobody has said that she hit somebody. Now the white man was a skit, so I don't know. All right, so let me skip down. Big Hair, how you doing? So she never called the police, but opened her live and started a GoFundMe. Her third one like this. Okay, so let me ask you this: are we saying that she didn't get hit with the brick? Now, I guess that's what I'm saying. Is it potentially that the man that hit her with the brick was he in on the skit? Like, what are we asserting here? I guess that's what I need to know. And D26, how you doing? Says every group have knuckleheads, but the content has a lot. So you said the continent. I'm sorry, I'm tripping. Continent has a lot. Okay, got you. And Thunder say, preach, Walter. Queens don't fight. They don't at all. They would never be in a position to fight. And kings don't fight as well. So that's fighting is not something we should be doing. Jay Bubba says, lion protect lionesses, not hyenas. Okay. All right. And Big Harry says she didn't deserve to be hit, but it's a grift for her to make money. So when you say she didn't deserve to be hit, but that kind of cancels out she didn't deserve to be hit. All right. So Curtis, how you doing? Says this is America. Don't catch you slipping. Though it's a slave mentality. She was asking for it. It's so none of us will step up to protect her, just like all the slaves watching Massa beat someone's ass. Yeah, I don't know how anybody could be asking for a brick upside the head unless they was hitting somebody or something. But I'm just asking. Rain says, I'm not an African or Caribbean. That's not me, Walter. Okay. King of Sorrow says, Demetri came from a country full of culture back to chaos and mayhem. Yeah, there's a lot of culture over there. Let me tell you something about the Japanese people. They are not with the foolishness. They are very quiet. I don't care where you are. You're on the subway, you're on the train, you at the store, you at the Shibuya crossing. They're quiet people. And it's very clean. The country is very, like they own their stuff there. You know what I mean? Of course, I talk a lot more about our visit to Japan later on, but it's a different planet. And Tracy says, what's this female TikTok so I can see if she's problematic? She still shouldn't have been hit. It sounds like maybe she deleted it. I'm not for sure. And Rick says, Izzard's Charles, world champion Cincinnati, tried to stop a man from beating a woman and lost his life. They named the street after him in Cincinnati. Got you. Stacy, how you doing? Tammy, what's going on with you? Says, no, does not give us the excuse to act stupid. Okay. And then Hazel says, black women have more hearts. They would have helped that sister. So you're talking about FBA. Gumby, how you doing? Says, only protection I owe to my family and myself. If I told you to avoid certain people, places, things, times, etc., it's an effort to protect you. Are you going to listen or complain or do the opposite? Good question. Urban Bake says, not slavery society has created the new black attitude. Okay. Let me move down. I'm just skipping down. Mr. Piebrain says that woman wasn't a slave. She came here and she's exploiting us. Okay. And D. Griffin, how are you doing? He says, love and light, beautiful Demetri and Walter. Thank you so much. He says, Demetri, I truly hope you enjoyed your vacation. I did. I got a lot of jet lag going on, but I'm going to push through it. Thunder says, I think we need to be careful and mind our business and take our own and not be concerned with folks distance themselves from black American blacks. Yeah. If that's your choice, then yeah, so be it. At the end of the day, nobody could tell you what to do. And again, I'm going to reserve my opinion because it's a very strong opinion and I might get myself in trouble. So I'm just going to, let everybody say what they got to say. I'm going to actually open up the link because I want to move on to the next topic of Walter's got a story he wants to tell us. I guess a warning, if you will. I'm just trying to see who else came on here. Mr. Western Union Man. Says, I'm sorry, that lady is not beautiful like our host. Oh, thank you so much. And Kiki says, I'm here to tell y'all, if she went to the hospital, the police were called. But yeah, that's true. By law in healthcare, we have to call the police when an assault occurs. That is absolutely true. You cannot go to the hospital, something like that, and the police not be called. So Kiki, you're absolutely right. Whether she called them or not, police showed up that day. Especially somebody had something like that on the side of their head. Absolutely. All right. So Nayaka, how you doing? Okay, I'm just reading the comments a little bit. Angela says, yep, she was challenging that man. Okay. All right. And Kiki says it's a crime, period. Even if the victim doesn't want the police call when they go to the hospital for something like that, the police have to be called. No exceptions. You're right. And Asha, how you doing? Says, did she touch that man? I haven't heard any testimony saying that she did. Stacy, you say the people that are saying that, I hope someone never attacks the woman in their family and nobody steps in to help them. I'm just going to keep on reading. Tavon, how you doing? Says, how she get hit with a brick and she's still conscious? Lady Blue says, did she go back to the club to check the cameras in order to write a police report? I have no idea about any of that. But nobody's disputing whether she got hit. There's some of the people who said that she was that they were there. They did say that she got hit with the brick. So I guess I'm trying to figure out, where are we going with the police report or the cameras and all that stuff? Are we saying that it didn't happen? Like, what are we doing? You know? Hello, Melvin. Thank you so much. How you doing today? I don't know, Common Man, where the report is. And Gumby says, I have to stop criminals. Okay. He says also, so I have to be the cop y'all want to defund. Laugh my ass off. Let me really quick say this. It's not that we want the police officers defunded. We do, but it's not like let's get rid of them per se. It's more or less like allocate that money to other things, like programs that'll help deter crime. But the other thing is, and I'm not sure who or what you are, Gumby, but I think it should be said that Black people want the same protection that white people get. You know, in Beverly Hills or anywhere else that's got the hills where the white people are. We want that same police protection. We don't want the Rambos coming into our neighborhood that have no idea about our people, busting heads and all kind of stuff. You know, we want the same, hey, how you doing, ma'am? What seems to be the problem? See, when they come into our neighborhoods, they kick ass and ask questions later. We don't want that type of policing. So I hope that helps. All right, so let's see. And Asha says, these dudes let words hurt their feelings. Hazel says they need to quit lying on that woman. This is sick. Yeah, I heard there's a lot of lies being forwarded in regards to her. And I saw a woman on TikTok. She did a great job of breaking it all down, you know, proving that a lot of it is just lies. But that's the internet, right? Thunder says, what is more lethal, bang bang from a man or bang bang from a woman? Maybe he was in fear and unarmed, and all he could find was a Acme brick. I wasn't there, but it is Texas, and 90% carry bangers. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how a woman deserves to be hit upside of her head, let alone with a brick. But like I said, I'm just reading. Laura, how you doing? Says we have no evidence it happened. Well, she's got a big giant knot on the side of her head, and a couple of men who said that they were there, they said that it did happen, but she was antagonizing. That's what they said. So I don't think it's a dispute as to whether it happened or not. All right. Let's see here. She says Karen is protected most times. And Money Man, how you doing? Says I haven't seen a video of the man who threw the brick. Did she include him in the video? It sounds like he jumped in the car and left. That's what the accusation is, that he got out of there. She said they allowed him to leave, like they didn't stop him or anything like that. That's what she said. Shirley, how you doing? Says Demetra, I agree with you about the Japanese people. They are very quiet, except in the clubs, but still not as loud as us. They are lovely and kind people. Yeah, I will say that the Asians over there, wonderful. But when they come over here, they get up on the massa and learn white supremacy, and they try to apply those same things. So totally different people. I'm going to say that right off the rip. I'm just going to say that. Laura says the sad part is how easy this was able to divide us and without any investigation or proof. Okay. And Tracy says, I just found a page on TikTok. She has 5 posts and they're all about the incident. So where are the problematic videos? It says sound like she may have taken some down, or maybe she's on Twitter, Instagram. I'm not sure. Trina, how you doing? Said the excuses are flabbergasting, to say the least. Okay, so let's see here. Chicago, it says Uncle Ruckus threw the brick, thought she was Obama. Don't Ask Me says, why don't she get a bunch of her girls together and go back down there to handle business? Okay, now y'all trolling. Mo Money says, from the people who said they were there, they said she was out with her friends, quote unquote. All right, and Princess G, how you doing? Says, how many people lose their lives jumping in to defend someone who caused the attack to happen in the first place? For what? Again, all right, so this is what I'm going to do. And Lene, how you doing? We're going to re-explain all that. I'm going to open up this link. And if y'all don't have anything to add to this conversation, and like for real, like being serious, if y'all coming up here to troll, don't click the link. I'm going to click you off. I'm not going to block you. I'm just going to click you off, and then you can come and join the conversation when it's more conducive for you to do that. But please, I want you to come up here and then let's have a serious discussion. I'm not telling you necessarily what opinion to have. That's your opinion, but let's be adults about the situation, right? So I'm going to put this link up here, and we're going to see how this goes. Walter, you have anything to say while I put this link up here?
Yeah, I don't, again, there's no reason to touch a woman at all. I mean, regardless, and I know women these days can have a whole lot to say, but there's no reason to put your hands on a woman. I mean, you count to 3, you walk away, go to rooftop, do what you need to do. And if you with that type of woman that makes you feel like that, maybe you should reevaluate the relationship and look at, well, I mean, I know this isn't a relationship. I'm just sort of giving some advice as a whole. But no woman should be hit, period. Right. And it just sucks to see our people, doing this shit. Our men, we should be protecting our women. I know we did a crappy job of that, but there's room for improvement, and getting our money right will definitely help. I'm just saying, this is the money show, but we'll come back to that.
Yeah, but we're getting that. So I'm going to put the link up. It's up right now. Again, if you trolling, don't come up here. And I'm also asked, please don't be long-winded. Say what you got to say. And if I don't already know who you are from you being up here previously, please show me your face before I bring you up to the big screen, because I don't want some nonsense to go on. So the link is there on YouTube. Hello, Nikki Red. How you doing? So I'm gonna wait for somebody to come up here. And I'll be looking at the comments, but I won't be able to address them as much because I want to pay attention to what is being said if somebody comes up. But the link is on YouTube if you want to join the conversation. And please have it apply to what we are saying right now, because I know sometimes we have people come up and talk about stuff that we're not talking about. But until then, I'm going to read the comments. Okay, Mr. Pirate Brain. How
you doing?
Today? I'm well. How about yourself? Uh-oh.
Can you hear me okay?
You're good now. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Hey, thanks for having me up on it. I'm looking kind of raggedy today, but been kind of under the weather.
Well, I hope you feel better.
Oh, thank you. It's something that is wearing me out with this whole situation. I'm so tired of hearing, well, no man should be doing this, no man. We know better than that. We shouldn't have to be reminded what we should and shouldn't do. So, but this situation, I am so tired of us conflating Black people that come here from another country that don't consider themselves us until they do dirt. When the ones that are over there, man, they're nice to us, but when they come over here, they act a certain way and then blame us. And all of a sudden they're Black now. Whereas before they did the dirt. Oh, I'm Somali. Oh, I'm Haitian. Oh, I'm this and I'm that. And it's not fair to us. And we buy into that and we accept it.
So let me ask you this: Are
Go
we
ahead. I'm
the
sorry.
only? No. Are we the only ones that are called black, or have Africans or Haitians or Jamaicans never been called black before?
Well, yeah, by white people and by us when we don't know who they are. But when
I've heard
they,
them call themselves black before.
yeah, well, after doing some dirty stuff.
Are you
And
sure that's
unless they are with us from the beginning. Because look, let me be clear about this. I've got African friends. My last girlfriend was Haitian. Right. So it's not like I'm trying to throw shade on other races, but I've seen too many people deny themselves of being part of our community when they, get a get a diploma, when they do nice stuff, and then as soon as some dirt happens, they're black. And it's not fair to us because it's very easy for somebody with the skin color to dump dirt on us because we're so
Can I ask
obvious.
you a question though?
Sure.
And Donovan is supposed to be coming up here. I don't know if he will. He'll tell you I like to play devil's advocate a lot. Are they not black? Are they not black?
If you were to ask me, I would say yeah, but ask them. You understand what I'm saying? Ask them.
But this is the other thing too. I just want to ask a question. Because like when I heard it, I didn't think, oh, was it an FBA? I'm just giving the context. Was it FBA?
Oh,
man?
I understand. I wouldn't have thought that either. No.
Yeah, I didn't think that. So I didn't even think any of that until I saw the conversation on Twitter. That wasn't an FBA, man. It was a Haitian or some. And I was like, but I never crossed my mind like, no, that had to have been a black man from Cincinnati who did that. And like that never even. So I'm like, now we're having a conversation about something that I don't know, or like, why are we splitting hairs? I guess that's kind of where I'm at with it. Because I've always heard black men or black people all over the world be referred, I call them black people all over the world, be referred to as black. So that's why.
Yeah, but by us though.
No, I've heard them say it too. Black Africans. I've been to Africa. I've heard them say that because there's white Africans and there's black Africans. So
right.
So I've heard that before. So I see some other people coming up here. I'm gonna bring y'all up. I'm gonna mute you. How y'all doing? So let me finish. Laura in Black America. I've heard of the Africans refer to themselves as black before. So I'm like, when did they not become black? I guess that's why.
You know what happens, and I know this from my black foreign friends have come over here, and I have quite a few. And what they tell me is when they're going to get their residency, they pull them all into a room, and they are spoken to about not to connect with us. They're saying, oh, they'll get you in trouble. They're not. And these are people that are my friends. They had no reason to lie.
Oh, listen, I'm not saying, I am not saying that they don't do those things. I tell y'all, I'm in Houston. A month ago, I went to an African grocery store, right? Because, I was like, okay, let me go in there, see what it's about. They had probably 80% of their work staff was Mexicans, like 80%. And even their big giant company photo, it was probably like 80% Mexicans. So then I went to their restaurant next door, and it was the same thing. And I thought, okay, wow. Now, I've also had some negative experiences with African people from the continent. Like, I'm here in Houston. I'm from Southern California. We don't have a lot of, a big African per se population. But when I come here, I do notice a difference. Like, I'll give you guys an example. I take Zumba every Thursday. And there's an African lady in there, and she be looking at me like, I'm like, but the sisters from here are cool.
Yeah.
They're cool.
Look, I'll culminate this with one. I'll culminate this with just one question. Are you going back to the Dominican Republic?
Hell
Thank you.
There you go. But let me just say this real quick. The thing is that within the diaspora, it's and just Africa as a whole, is very tribal. We know that. Even within the countries, it's within their country, they're tribal. Okay. So most of them come with a sense of ownership of who they are. And they will fight for that. And they will own that to differentiate themselves from others. Okay. Then we come here and we are very open, loving people. And so we kind of open our arms and we open everyone in and we say, hey, everybody come to the cookout, come to the table. They come, but they aren't that way with themselves. So we in these social media streets, and I'm even an activist as well, it's very, I'm Haitian, we're from Trinidad, we're from Nigeria, we're from here, and it's done in a way to segregate themselves from us. Okay, so then when this happens, oh, they're black. Nobody on that video was black. She's a refugee from Somalia. So she's an immigrant who's a Somalian. She's blackity black, but that's because of her own culture. Because if she was a lighter skinned Somalian, she'd be like the boy who's gone viral on TikTok telling us he's Somalian and he's not black. Because they consider themselves Arab.
So, but let me ask y'all a question, and then I'm gonna get to Black American. Then I want to address this question here or this statement. Do we think that she was talking to Black people in America when she said Black men? Because, like I said, I know for a fact that they do refer to it. She did use the N word. I know that's not a word that's prevalent where they're from. So maybe there's something there.
They learn it. They learn it quickly. That and a kata. They throw that one a lot around.
Yeah, well, she said it, and she didn't say the ER, she said the like, whatever. So just not hypothetical, but rhetorical. Y'all have to answer. Who was she talking to? Now let me answer this. Let me read this. This whole situation is nonsense. I'm only wanting to know the man who threw the brick. We have a clear example of how African men deal with their out of control women. We should take notes. So what I want to know is, what exactly does that mean? We should take notes with out of control women. The other thing is, let's define an out of control woman. And are we asserting that women should be bricked when they're out of control? I just want to set that right there.
As the woman here, what I'm going to say is I think what Michael is saying is, and we've all seen and read of examples of how men treat, discipline, and attack women in other countries. From bricks to stonings to setting them on fire to acid attacks. Like, some of the things that they do to women in other parts of this world are horrendous and just unconscionable to us here. Okay. And when I know for me, when I first heard that was my first instinct is, this ain't Black folks. First of all, what kind of club is this where they got bricks laying around? This is 2023. Like, that's one thing. And men will hit you. Men will shoot you. This is America. They'll shoot you. They'll beat you up. They'll do. But brick you.
Well, you saw what happened to the sassy trucker, right?
When she went over to another country.
I'm gonna say this.
Yeah.
First, I want to give it to Walter.
Well, let me just say, before you go there, Dimitri, I'll stop in a second. I just want to answer his question. My issue is we have spent the last 24 hours, some of us defending Black American men, and the others just saying it doesn't matter what she says flies. Who is this woman? Where's her paperwork? Where's her documentation? Where's her police report? This could be a Jesse Somalia. Like, do we know anything? We do not. But we have spent the last 24 hours berating and just attacking Black men as a monolith and as a whole. based on one woman's word, period. That I have a problem with.
Right. So I want to be clear that I personally have not spent any time berating black men. I have not spent any time doing that. Anybody who watched this show know that I'm not a black man hater, nor am I a black woman hater, because we got some of those out there too. On this show, we gonna ask questions, even if they not questions, because I'm not the go along, get along type of person where I'm scared to offend people. Because as I said, as long as they don't feed you, they can't starve you. I ain't on here, eating off of nothing on YouTube. I just want to tell y'all that right now, okay? But so what I'm saying is sometimes I'm gonna ask some uncomfortable questions or say some things, but we don't grow if we don't ask questions. But I'm not on here asserting that are putting this on anybody and thank you so she came back putting this on anybody as I was not there. We are having a conversation. Walter, did you want to say something before I give it to Black America?
Oh Lord, before you do that, so I want to be clear. This happened yesterday, 2 days ago,
something like that, a couple days ago.
Can I ask you guys a real question? Every day, it's just those that put it on social media that we see it. It's like when you see a black dude or a black woman get beat up by the cops. It happens all day, every day. It's just when it's on camera, we see it. What are we doing underneath to fix all this stuff? I guarantee you, if every single one of those people that are in that club, and she's a victim, so I'm gonna leave her to the side. But if everybody instead was working on their money, trying to get this grind on and saving for their future, most of the stuff that black people deal with would disappear. I can tell you, I'm seeing a girl right now, and she was on her Instagram, and I checked her. I said, "Hey, I can't kick it with you. If you're gonna be scrolling Instagram, I can't kick it with a chick that sits on Instagram." Because my every thought is money, money. If I'm not rubbing baby oil on you, I'm thinking money, or I'm thinking about my kids. That's it. Those three things, outside that, there's nothing else to talk about. If we in the car and you scrolling on Instagram and I'm thinking about, we should stack up some more money and buy another piece of property and put an RV on it so we can collect this income and get you out of that job you hate. If we're not there, there's nothing else to talk about. If we get like that point,
we not there. We not there.
But we could be.
We not there. We got so many different groups, and I guess I would have to ask you when you say that, because you've got Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, descendants of slaves, whatever you want to call them, and which I am one too. So whatever you want to call us, where we have always been so open to everyone coming into here and sharing our culture, our resources, everything with people, and it just feels that we're under attack, not only from white supremacy, but from brown supremacy from Indians and other brown people. You got yellow, and then you got blacks from the African coming here. So it's a lot of attacking on us right now. And if we bring up reparations, you would get the same thing, because they actually would fight against us getting it when it isn't even their business.
Well, I hear what you're saying, but I guess my point was, I don't care if they're Black, Puerto Rican, Haitian. I don't care where they're from. And honestly, because if we want to go back to the origin, we are all African people, regardless if you were dropped off in Panama, South America, Canada, Dominica, wherever.
But we're not. We have literally been here for 400 or 500 years now. Some of us 300 years.
Yes,
so to say we're the same, we're not the same anymore.
Well, here's what I mean by that. We are the same. Like when you see this woman, 99% of the population goes, she's Black. That's the point I'm making. It's a representative of who we are. Like I have Mexican friends. I have friends from Puerto Rican. I have a Puerto Rican friend. She'll tell you straight up, I am not Mexican. I said, well, you look Mexican. You talk Mexican. You speak Mexican. Your eyes the same color as a Mexican. Maybe they blue today, but like yesterday.
Yeah, but that's out of our ignorance, though, that we conflate a Mexican with a Puerto Rican or or whatever. That's, or and it's the same thing out of our ignorance that we conflate a Somalian for a Black American. They're not the same.
Well, the point I'm making is we all look the same. Like I have a friend of mine his name is Dan. He is Haitian. Came in from Haiti, everything. As born in Haiti, came here. His mom is Haitian. If you talk to him, he's Haitian. He speaks French and English. He identifies as a Black man. He taught me Black power, how Black men should walk, how Black men should stack their money. We talk about being Black and American, even though he was born in Haiti. That's what I'm talking about. So we could spend the next hour splitting the hairs of what country they're from, but regardless of where they're from, it's our appearance. And what's ever happening with her is, in this situation, is affecting us, period, regardless of where they're from. And going back to my original comment, is the money doesn't care what color you are. If we, like this has been in the news, I've Googled this.
But she is a refugee. She said it herself.
No, I understand that.
She is. It is a difference. It is a difference because she's coming directly from that culture.
But why does it matter if she's a refugee?
Because it's a different culture.
Let me say this.
I'm just asking the question. Why does it matter? She still has Black skin, and I'm talking about her being a representative. Most people don't know she's Somalian or she's Ethiopian. They just
you can tell she's from Somalia. You can tell she is.
And she was at a club that was African. The people in the background were also accents, and they also were not necessarily Americans. That's why a lot of us had said, like, wait, this may be not us.
Let me get a Black American in on the conversation. How are you doing? And thank you for waiting so patiently.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Hello, everybody on the panel, everybody in the chat. What's up? Hit that like button. All right. So I'm going to move backwards and then forwards. Okay. Yes. When we look at an African person, whether they are from Somalia or Ghana or Nigeria, we know they not Black. Okay. We as Black Americans, we know Mutombo is not a Black man. Can everybody agree on that? That Dikembe Mutombo is not a Black man, meaning a Black American.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So if we look at a Chinese and a Korean and a Japanese and maybe a Filipino, we are not so sure. Can we all agree on that?
I can tell to some degree.
You can to some degree, but
possible, but not as much as within our own people. Yes.
Yeah. All right, continue.
So with that can tell that they are not Black. Their skin tone is different, their hair is different, and things of that nature. All right, so now we're gonna move a little bit. Dr. Umar on the show, I don't know, one of those shows, he said, ladies, country looking for a man, you cannot act a certain manner. Did anybody hear that about Dr. Umar?
Yes.
Okay, so now we're going to move again. We have Black men going to other countries to pick up women that are what? They call them passport bros, but why are they going to other countries to pick up those women?
You don't want my answer, but you tell me.
Because they're more submissive, they are more ladylike, they're more feminine. She has came over here and ruined herself, immersing it in our culture. You guys say that she was using the N-word. Yes, all of us. I won't say it on here because Miss D don't like it, but I use it every day, at least 100 times. And but if you hang out with Mexicans, you hang out with Dominicans, you even hang out with some Filipinos that are gangbangers called Pinoy boys, they all use the N-word too, because they have also immersed themselves in our culture.
But can I?
So having browns. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Because, and how you doing, Mama Deb, and everybody else that came on here, K Marga, how you doing? When I hear people say everybody else is using the N word, and like you said, they have immersed themselves in our culture. The N word is not our culture. That ain't our word. That is not our word. We have taken ownership of that word, but that word actually belongs to white supremacy. But that word does not belong to us. So I guess I'm just trying to figure out why are we claiming that word. But anyway, continue. And how you doing, JBWR?
Ice Cube said
You
that was
feel you feel like you feel like that because you're pro-black. I'm not pro-black. I'll do something to a white person just the same I'll do to a black person. Your skin, if somebody, whether black, white, indifferent, green, orange, you're still in my car, I'm going to break some fingers or legs. I'm not going to say, oh, it's a 14-year-old black boy, I'm going to be easy on you. No, I'm going to whip the skin off of his back. Why? To give correction. The ladies in those other countries know not to act like the sassy trucker because they will have correction brought upon them. Our women in our country know that all they got to do is run their faces into a brick wall, and the man is going to go to the poke for as long as they keep on crying. So I understand, oh, you shouldn't have hit her with a brick. I wonder, let's see how many times she's more antagonistic to other people, especially people from her own culture. She's not going to do that anymore. Things that happen. Okay, go ahead.
Because I guess I keep hearing this, and I want to make sure I'm clear. Are we saying that a woman needs to be physically subdued in order to behave? Is that what we're saying?
Okay, what is the only?
I think he's
hold
trying
on, miss. Hold on, miss. Hold on, miss. What is that things change? Things don't. There's never a war of word and kindness. There's never been a reprimand of kindness. There's never been somebody that gets sent to the prison and they use words of kindness. Things in this country, things in the world do not change through nice words and kindness.
Well, I'm gonna say this to you, okay? I'm gonna say this, and I want to be very clear because I have seen a lot of people kind of alluding to and some flat out saying, you know, we need to take notes and women need to be physically reprimanded. I'm gonna tell you right now, any man put his hands on me, I'm gonna make sure your life is taken one way or the other. I'm gonna just put it out there like that.
I dig that, but at the same time, unless you can use a pew pew very well or go get another man to do it, you can't physically do it with your hands. And this is
wait a minute. I said one way or the other. However it gets done, my brother. You don't know who I know. Okay.
No, hey, I'm for it. You know, I love it. I'm all for it.
Hold on. Let me say this.
All you got to do is call me.
Yeah, you guys, and this conversation is kind of swinging back to the part that puts us, why black people stay in this position. There's no reason to put your hands on a woman ever. Two, I have been all over the world, Colombians, Asians. I've seen all women, and they are hostages. The minute they get over here, they loosen up, they get free. I've been to countries and seen women all over the world. They are hostages. That's
exactly, Walter. Exactly. So what you just said is exactly right. They are hostages. They are nice. They don't raise their voice. They don't raise their hand. They don't snatch dreams out of the air. They're not wagging their finger. They're not spitting in your face.
Hold on. Well, see, this is the problem with the internet. And this is why I, for the life of me, wish we would get into some more books. I wish we would actually open our eyes, because I don't know any woman that you describe that's spitting in men's faces, splashing drinks everywhere. And I don't know no woman who does that. But what we do is we get a little bit of stuff on the internet and we try to mass apply that to everybody. So I don't know. Maybe y'all just need to hang out with better people. Right?
Do you go out?
I go out. I almost said the N word myself.
No,
Hold on. Man, wait.
Do you go out with regular people?
Wait a minute now. I just took my ass all the way to Tokyo, Japan. I do travel the world. I go past the city I'm in. I'm on a plane probably to this point almost once a month. So I do travel. I do know people, but I can tell you this.
I'm saying, are you hanging out in the Fifth Ward? You're in Houston.
Wow.
Do you go hang out? Do you go hang out in the bottoms where because those are where the regular people are.
Black America. The people in the Fifth Ward, and there's lots of people in the Fifth Ward who do not behave that way. But the people in the Fifth Ward that do behave that way, they do not represent all of Black people in America.
Amen.
The women that's doing that stuff that you're talking about, that is not representation of all Black women. Just like the men that are doing some unsavory things, that's not a representation of all Black men. So what I would ask you, my brother, is do you go past the areas that you're in or the little niches on the internet that you see? Because I don't know any man or any woman who would brick a woman, and I don't know any woman that's doing the stuff that you just described. So where are you traveling?
Okay, since I do travel quite a lot. You know, I'm in a club and all we do is travel.
And making sure, brother, but I gotta let JBWR come on here.
Okay, so I travel quite a lot, but when I travel to where people in our community are. I've been over to other countries, yes, but I travel where people in our communities are. I go to the real neighborhoods where people are getting evicted and put out. And you said, what kind of women? You give me a percentage. Is it more women like you or less women like you? And honest thing,
you do realize some of us are not all in the projects, right? Some of us are actually in middle class or upper middle class neighborhoods within America as Black Americans, right? Because I mean, you didn't threw the ward out like we all just go hanging out at the ward. I've been in Houston over 50 times, and I don't think I've ever been in the Fifth Ward. So I mean, I just want to make sure that we're keeping this conversation at a proper level.
But you know, even you guys, I've been to the.
That's even in Africa too. A lot of people think that Africa's all poverty.
Yeah,
people in Africa got money.
Well, you guys, yeah. Listen, I've been to the Third Ward and the Fifth Ward, and most people are minding their business. Matter of fact, I walked the Fifth Ward. I walked many neighborhoods with people of all different colors. I didn't have no issues. I was there for. I was there for hours. I didn't see no drama. Yes, you know what I saw in the Third and Fifth Ward? Poverty. That's what I saw. And not in all of it. And some of it. You guys realize 50% of Black people in the United States are in the middle class.
Correct.
So we're talking about a small minority of people, maybe not a small, but a minority nonetheless of people.
Say that statistic again. Say that again, because that's something we need to say more of as people.
Yeah, so you got to look, in Black people, we are on the top of the totem pole when it comes to wealth in the United States. Black people are on the top or near the top when it comes to wealth. There's so many wealthy Black people in this country. They're everywhere. I'm surrounded with my friends. Many of them do extremely well. I have a lot of Black millionaire friends. I mean, a bunch of them that do very, very well. So I think what we need to do is get away from the few people, that the media and everybody gravitates to. Mm-hmm. And then here's the other thing, what I would like to, I'd like to address, if at all possible, is there, say hi to my guest. So what ends up happening is when you look at like the crime bill, that room is paying me $90 a night. It's booked all month. I need anyways. So Um, when you look at bills, like there was an Asian hate bill. It's not a Japanese, it's not a Chinese, it's not a Laos Filipino crime bill. It's an Asian hate bill.
Mhm.
What they've done is take Asian people as a whole, and they have
Segregated them.
said,
Mhm.
well, they said, we're going to get this bill for all of us. Jews, when you say Jew, there are black Jews, white Jews, Mexican Jews, whatever. You say Jews. Black people, I wish we could kind of get away. Not that we don't need to differentiate. I'm black and you're Haitian. Yeah, that's whatever. But it's not helping us financially
And,
because we spend more time talking about that
Yeah.
versus
Part of it's, I understand the financial part. Some of it is just spiritual. And
and,
some of it, I mean, at this point, I think it's really just, it's, we as Black people, part of us being
Lord,
here.
can I get you to hold that thought? Because
Sure.
JBWR has been patiently waiting. I can see he's at the gym. We don't want his pump to go down. So, what's on your mind, brother?
Can you hear me?
We can.
Okay, awesome. What's up to the chat? What's up to the panel, man? You guys are, um, just a few things. I think there's plenty of reasons to get hit by bricks, but at the same time, there's plenty of reasons to not get hit by bricks. I grew up on the south side of Chicago. I upgraded myself to upper middle class, and I can tell you that money doesn't solve problems. I've dealt with white folks, rich Indian folk, rich Japanese, even rich black folks, as rare as they are. And I can tell you that the amount of money does not dictate the 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 strength of character, right? Experiences do. A lot of the problems that we experience as a community, whether it be foreign or abroad, well, foreign and abroad, right? It stems from a weak image of self, right? These things that we see on the internet, for some reason, we seem to project our own inadequate, our own beliefs as these small occurrences are seen as a common occurrences. Man, these are not trends. Black women, even melanated women, here and abroad, man, they're not treated as commonly as we think they are. I know plenty of queens, plenty of ladies, plenty of fantastic women, but the internet seems to popularize the worst of us. That's a big problem with us, man. Bricks just don't fly about like that, and we can't forget that.
Our image has been controlled by others for so long. They've defined our story, how we portrayed in the movies, TVs, radio. I mean, now we've got this, this new hip hop trash that we're being forced to listen to, and you know, other people see this, but for them, that's the only American they see. Sometimes is what they
You know
see,
what?
and
You know what? Sis,
we don't even like that version.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm not even going to promote anything. But here's the thing, right? There's I myself am a content creator, which is the reason why I can appreciate the fantastic work Demetra and Walter and Donovan and the other people in the group. You guys do fantastic work. But I did a video, right? It was about how when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock and the ramifications that they sent uh, across the globe. Pretty much everyone seemed to think that even the nicest of our people are prone to these violent outbursts. And
Yes,
it's
can
because
snap.
of the internet,
Mhm.
man.
Yeah.
Everybody else gets to dictate. And me, myself, I'm an 80s baby. I remember Samurai Sunday, right? And I remember thinking that every single Asian person knew Kung Fu. And it's because that was the characterization that was imparted to me. I didn't know any better. And this is the image that the world sees about us when they push this highly sexualized, overly aggressive image of black men and black women. Man, everybody seems to believe it. That's something we need to combat. And I think we should ignore people who fail, like what's that, self-defense 101. You got to duck when something's coming at your head. You know, that's self-defense, man. And
Yeah.
there it is. Hey, thanks for having me. I'm gonna
Thank
get my
you.
pump on. You guys are awesome, and I
I'm
really
gonna go. Thank
appreciate
you. Thank you.
I
Thank you.
appreciate the work you guys do.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Come back and
And
see
I'm
us.
going to go as well. I just want to say that in regard to this particular incident, this person, this lady has also had, this is not her first GoFundMe. This is her second GoFundMe. The first one was for a similar incident, supposedly. And this one, she's now at over $30,000 for this one. But my only issue is that we've had people report back that they've tried to locate police reports, hospitals. They're in Houston as well, where this supposedly took place. And nobody has been able to find anything. And in the middle of us trying to find out the details of what's going on, then her TikTok got shut down. And then, I think IG might still be open, but I mean, and we haven't seen anything else. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's happening very fast. But I mean, how do we not also have the discernment of wanting to just make sure this isn't a scam? But if you mention that, then people attack you and say, "Oh, well, that she still didn't deserve to get hit by a brick." I mean, technically, at this point, did she? Because that could have been makeup. We don't know this person. We don't know her crowd. We don't know anything about this. And for us to just have this much, allow this much division and just conflict between our men and women so freaking easily is frustrating. We have enough battles of trying to contain and heal Black love and Black families. And this quick, someone just comes up with a brick story, and all of a sudden women are running around. See, men never take care of us. And the men are saying, if they're not my women, I wouldn't have jumped in either. And I mean, it grew legs, and it just speaks to the fact that our community needs to have some healing, and we need to have these conversations among with each others. But we've got to get to a place where we're healing, and we do have outside people coming in. Oh, it said 41,000 now. There you go. 24 hours. It's $41,000 for a stranger who just popped up one day. We just have to be a little more careful sometimes with what we're doing.
What question I have, and I know when I bring this up, it kind of gets pushed to the side. And I know it's just normal to say money doesn't fix everything, money's not everything. But what if we tried it with money? I guarantee you, if everybody in that parking lot had a little bit of money saved and they were like, oh, I got a project I'm working on, I guarantee you a lot of the stuff will go away. And I know money doesn't fix everything, but like why don't we try it? Tell you what, when you have, like in the other brother I think he talked about character a little bit, but when you are working on your wealth and your stability for you and your family, that does build character. Because the fact when I started saying, okay, I got to take care of my kids and make sure they're safe, and we got to make sure we own some property and we keep our insurances and we keep stacking money, that does, in my opinion, make your character stronger. Getting money, is a byproduct of just working harder.
Yeah. And I'm sure if they had been at a meeting talking about money and financial planning, then she probably would not have gotten that brick, because that energy in that group would have just been different.
I think that brick was part of her financial planning.
Exactly.
Probably right. Damn.
That's what I'm saying.
Come on, I knew you guys would start to see this as we talk. It's starting to play itself out.
I'm trying to say, quit throwing my men in the trash over her scam. We ain't got enough information.
Yeah. But I will say this too. There's not I don't think there's a lot of people probably on the internet, but see, like I said, I kind of try to live my life a little more off of the internet than I do on the internet.
It was busy on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, I tell you all the time, Twitter is my least favorite place to go, because somebody could put something up and everybody and their mama run off with it, and it'd be like, oh, that's not what had happened was. But what I'm saying is, yeah, we saw a lot of people online.
No, she got $41,000 right now. So it's not. So it's viral.
Well,
That's what I'm saying.
No, the way it's viral, but what I'm saying is we've seen a lot of people online blaming black men for what you're saying, right? But are a lot of people overall blaming black men? I haven't heard people say in my circles that this is a black man thing. I have not heard that. Now, of course, I always say the internet is not real. And I say it's not real because people could put whatever they want on there. And they know most people ain't going to fact check. They ain't going to research. We all got our favorite person we follow. And if they light up the internet right now, I just saw pigs flying, and that's a tool of white supremacy. The pigs in the air. Black people, we need to be careful because they doing that for us. It'll be 14 Negroes plus their mamas and their mamas get on and retweet it as if it was the gospel, even though you can walk your ass outside and say, I don't see no pigs flying around. It's going to be somebody who believes it. So the point that I'm making is, I'm telling you, because I did my thesis on rhetoric and propaganda, and if you just give it the right spark, people believe it.
It's
like one time I was on Facebook and I tweeted it just to do an experiment. I said, did y'all know that the United States, and I made it up, the Federation of the Olympics is now allowing twerking as an Olympian sport? And people was like, that's messed up. No way, this, that, and the other. And I was like, I was joking, right? But y'all didn't even.
But did you put your GoFundMe page up for it though?
I did not. I did not put up a GoFundMe. But if she's not telling the truth and she's raising money, I think the people who gave out of good faith, right? Because I recently donated to a GoFundMe of a black mother. She's dying of cancer. She's got 4 babies. She's done everything that she could do to try to stay here. It's terminal. So there's a lot of money raised to help her. And, so I do stuff like that. If this lady is running a scam, it'll come out. Because one thing we know about people is they find out the truth about your black ass, especially if you're lying, But I would just say, I know Walter wants to tell us his story. I would just say this. I know, and I say this a lot. It ain't all black women and it ain't all black men. There's some, but just like the white media, they like to paint with the smash and grabs. Look at black people. Look at the black people they doing. And it's like, but you ain't see them white folks up in there, the Asians and man. So you see what I'm saying? But they paint all of us in there. So now when we all try to walk our black beautiful selves into a store, they probably gonna be looking. Is this it? They gonna do a smash and grab,
But that goes back to the narrative. That goes back to the, this portrayal, this, the media, how we're portrayed. It's just a constant churn.
Yeah, so I do my best to try to edify black men and women, but I'm not gonna lie to kick it. I know we got issues. Like I tell Donovan all the time. He always talk about, black women don't hold each other accountable. Black women, black women, black women, black women, black women. And I'm like, listen, there's women like me. We got black women, okay? We gonna do our part. Not gonna get out of women's business and go do your part with the black men. Stop telling black women how to tell black women how to behave and go tell black men how to behave. See, if we do that stuff, then collectively we might be all right. And listen, I'm not stupid. I know there's some hard-headed sisters out there. I ain't gonna never be on here. Now, our black women, we are queens and we wearing halos and we are out of here just come on now. Because as I said, and I said this, nobody hates a black woman like a black woman. Y'all can be mad at me for saying that, but it's true. I'm a black woman. And sometimes black women say and do some pretty horrible things. So as I always say too, we can't hold black men accountable until we hold ourselves accountable for the stuff that we do to each other. And y'all, I'm on record saying that. So it's never all black men ain't shit. Black women ain't shit. It's because we all got a lot of work to do. But as far as this internet, we got to get good at getting in these books and really just kind of just testing some of these theories for ourselves. And a lot of times, it's a simple Google search. I'll tell y'all the story about that black ice cream thing that was running around. They vanilla ice cream used to be black, but they changed it white because white people didn't want to be licking on nothing black.
And then that's why black people did butter pecan.
just the wildness, right? But it's
Yeah,
like,
I was like, I don't get that. But okay, I heard something like that, but it didn't make sense to me. Like that's why black people used to prefer, or they used to get butter pecan because they couldn't get vanilla or something ridiculous. I heard something like that too.
but look at all the people who ran away with that story. There is black ice cream, but vanilla ice cream did not get changed from black to white because white people didn't want to lick on nothing black. Because let's keep it a buck. We know that sometimes white women like to lick on stuff that's black, but that ain't my business. You know,
I knew you was going there.
Shut up. But anyway, y'all two can stay on here if you want. But Walter wants to give us a warning, if you will. Walter?
I don't know if it's a warning. No, I would just, in my travels and as I'm working with people with money, I hear, I'm starting to hear the same stories. Like when I meet young people, I tell them, if you want to get your life in order, first, every decision you should make should be about money. When I tell them, do not date. And if you do, map it out first. Because what happens, like I've been married, I know a lot of people that have been married. And one thing that happens when you get married, anything that happens after you get married becomes community property, everything. And so, like, I know what happened to me, and I know what's happening to a friend of mine is, like, when I was married, I wanted to buy a certain piece of property and blah, blah, blah. And they were like, oh, no, you since you are legally married, even though you're separated, she has to sign off and agree on everything you do personally. And I was like, oh, shit. That ended up costing me hundreds of thousands of dollars over my lifetime just for signatures. So the point I'm making is anytime you go into a relationship, be it business or especially with, a significant other, think about what it's going to do to you financially. I will not date a woman that is not on some sort of path financially or that doesn't have something financially that I can benefit from. And I'm going to sound like a dick, but I'm going to say it.
That was a rather strong word, my brother.
I tell you, listen, some of y'all know I was single and I'm still kind of single. But as I was talking to women, I was like, what she got?
Kinda? Just
what
kinda.
she working with? I mean, I ain't going to put all my stuff out there. But like, can I benefit from this? Because a relationship at the end of the day is a business decision. That's why I respect coaches that do arranged marriages. Your parents know that she ain't no good for you. They know he ain't no good for you. First of all, if you have two parents that could stand in the same room and get along, that's a blessing. If the two of them are on somewhat, maybe they're in the same book but different page, but long as they're in the same book, they know what you need. Like I can look at my kids and say, oh, no, don't do that. Don't date. Like I told my son, Evan, don't date. You're a good looking kid. Let's stack your money. And the more stable you become financially, the better your options will come with women. Because right now you're just getting all the girls, oh, he's cute, blah, blah, blah. But when you start hanging out in places and you start doing better, you'll meet a better person, and then they will have something to lose. If you date somebody with nothing to lose, they will have something to gain because if you have somebody that's strong and somebody that's weak, you guys meet in the middle.
Wait a minute now. You said a word right there. I might write that down. Say that again. If you dating somebody who's what? That's got something to lose or don't have nothing to lose, they may gain. Like, break that down.
Well, let's so say, for instance, if I start dating somebody, and let's say I got money and things stacked together, I'm building my retirement, and she has nothing, the only thing I can do is lose, and the only thing she can do is gain. If I take a broke chick out to dinner, and she's never been out, I'm losing, she's gaining. This happened to me not too long ago. I went out with I would consider a chicken nugget girl. I'm gonna leave it at that. Chicken nugget, some soy sauce on the side, and I'm like taking her to a steakhouse. My dumb self, and halfway through, I'm like, I could have took this girl to Chipotle and put her in the hashback and sprinkled her with some oil and been on about my day. But here I am spending $200 at a steakhouse, which could have been in my retirement. Fellas, women, if you spend $200 a month dating, eating out with somebody that is not going to be with you long term and build with you, you are blowing your retirement. Do you know that $200 a month at 12% in the stock market over a 30-year period is $700,000? $300 a month, which fellas we know we spend over 30 years in the stock market, is $1 million. And so now I'm starting to think like that. And I think every move we make, we should be more, and fellas, we probably should be more like women, because women make these financial moves. Oh, I had a girl tell me my ex-husband, he wasn't the cutest, but I thought he had a little something. He had a little 3 Series BMW. He had a little condo. You know what I'm saying? And then turned out he had 10 of her. You know what I'm saying? You dating Shrek because he in a Tesla. And because you expecting to get something from it. So we should think like that. I mean, man.
So hold on, we got Shrek in the Tesla, and we got the chicken nugget girl.
I mean,
okay, so you need to break out a little thing, dating or financial advice, and we can do that one separately, and he can come in and give us all these little nuggets and stuff. Because I mean, we really do as a people need to have more conversations with us co-ed.
But we try to do Wealth Wednesdays. But if I say, hey, Walter's going to talk about love and marriage and how to save money, it'll be 3 people watching.
Okay. All right, so hit me up. We'll come up with a way to trick them to come. We got just.
I mean, we have to. I mean, we just have to. I don't know. Dee always says vitamin in the applesauce or whatever.
Well, we have to hit the algorithm. We got to hit them in the sweet spot. Like right now, the brick girl is the sweet spot. See, and everybody comes. So we just got to work with it. I got you.
But we do need to, and I struggle with this too. I mean, because you want to be out, you want to have fun, but then we need to start thinking about our future. Like I was out with a girl that I'm seeing, and she goes, "What's wrong?" And I said, no.
Hold on. The thing that you said earlier about picking the spouses, I've had that same conversation with my brothers, and I had the conversation with my daughters as well, right? And I have 3 sons, so just so you know, that is true, and that is what our culture here is missing, because back before, the fathers knew who the men were. They knew their families or something, or the uncles knew somebody in the family. So there was a knowledge of these people that we were getting married to. Now it's been switched to us women picking. And I've been married. I was married 28 years, so I'm not talking about me. But I mean, they don't know how to pick none. They not good pickers. They picking for the wrong reasons nowadays.
And we know why they picking. They picking so they can, be jumping on it like a trampoline.
They picking for the wrong reasons nowadays.
Yeah. But that's why I say, before you make it, I'm gonna say this, and this is an adult show. I'm not gonna be freaky. Oh man, if I was to write a book,
it is after 8, at least on the East Coast.
Yeah, okay. If I was gonna talk about dating, I would say before you make a decision to go out with somebody, take care of yourself. Get you some TikTok baby oil, and then make a decision after that.
But you have a whole generation of people
girl, I
who
can't
are
make
very
it.
lonely.
I love my 401k.
You have a generation of people who grew up maybe in single family homes, and they came in lonely. They came in searching. They've been wanting that family. They want that group, and they're just doing whatever they have to do to fill it.
Well, I guess I see that, but and again, I struggle with this too. But as the things I'm telling you, like when I was sitting there dazed out, and this girl's like, "Hey, what's going on?" I said, "I'm thinking I have a property out in the desert, and instead of being here today, we should be out there. We should be working on that." And yeah, somebody said something. I'm not really in it for love. I'm not. I'm over love. Love is so overrated. You meet some girl, some guy.
Yeah,
oh, I love you.
That's 30. That's 40 and below. I feel you, but we gotta get them when they 30. We gotta help the 20, 30-year-olds.
Yeah, it's
what we've already know and learned. They don't necessarily have those same people speaking to them in the way we are trying to speak to them.
So, and I mean,
it used to be church. Folks don't do that no more.
Yeah, church is dead.
So now all it is radio, TV, and internet. And we see what the results are giving our culture.
Yeah.
You mind if I interject something into this?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Do.
I think the only way that we're going to fix this is to fix our relationships. Because when I'm 62, I turned 62 the 31st, right? And when I was a young man, my father would say, look, when you go over to this lady's house, when you meet her father, you shake his hand firmly and you look him in the eye. And when he asks you questions, you look him in the eye and you answer with your voice. You know, you don't talk out the side of your mouth. My father taught me how to talk to women's fathers, right? We don't have that no more because we're not staying together. And I'm not going to blame men or women. I'm going to blame both men and women. Women are most filing for divorces. You got to stop this. If you think you're gonna divorce the man, don't get married to him. Right?
Now
only marry somebody that you want to stay in the marriage with.
I had a couple women I didn't talk to in some groups about that same thing, which is, now we have to cut this with the whole, marriage. Okay, you get lucky enough to get married. And then we the ones, 60-70% of the time, we always talking about, the man's going to leave us. He's going to get another woman. He's going to cheat and get a woman and leave us. Well, why are we 70% of the ones doing it? So we technically are the ones throwing it away.
Well, that's a loaded conversation for a whole nother day. Cause I get it, but there's levels to it. But I want to answer this, Brother Sammy. How you doing? If I didn't already say that, you say, is marriage a business arrangement? How Absolutely. Much should love play in the decision? Well, I want to say this. It's and I know, Brother Sam, you know the answer to this. He's trolling us. It's absolutely a business arrangement, because marriage, you are marrying things together, right? Whether it's finances, whether it's emotions, it's a whole lot of things that you are
credit card debt.
Yeah, you're marrying everything together. So you want to be careful of what you marry together. Now, obviously, love should have something to do with it, but I say this because I'm gonna tell y'all from experience. We always hear this, I just fell in love. I want to fall in love. But it's like, do you want to fall in love? Because when you fall, what happens? Sometimes you get hurt. So you want to be strategic in love. You want to say, okay, Walter says this a lot. They say this in the nation. That's why I say I know Brother Samuel was trolling. But let's put it all on the table. Miss Ma'am, what you working with, sir? What you working with? Okay, let's see if we can, marry these things together. If we cannot marry them together, then we are not a match. But the problem is, as you said, Laura, people are getting in relationships for the wrong reasons. Oh, you got a big booty. Oh, you got a little money. And then people try to get together on that, and it's like that. That's like building a house on sand. That's not a solid foundation because you can only, jump up and down in the bed so long before the lights go out. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's going to pay the light bills? Who's going to keep the roof over our head? Who's going to make sure? Mm-hmm. Yeah, if the children get sick, or the dog needs to go to the veterinarian, who's going to make sure that those things are taken care of after we done humped each other to death? The love part is something you have to work on as well. But people are getting together for the wrong reasons. And, and they say what? Couples divorce mostly because of what? Money. So it has to be a business arrangement. And then because y'all remember, especially women back in the day, the old women used to tell women, child, don't marry for love. This man got a lot of money. You can learn to love him. You know what I mean? The love is going to come, but this man can take care of you. Now, I know some men's like, well, I want a woman to love me. Yeah, but it's easy to love if I ain't got to worry about who's going to pay the mortgage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's temperament too, right? So for us as modern Black American women, our temperament you know, our
There's a
temperament has
movie.
gotten to be a little beside ourselves, you know, and so
There's a movie called
I said
Namesake.
I got 3 sons, so I be looking, and I mean, so that means, you know, yeah, is the women is the temperament of our women is a little much too.
I like her.
There's a movie called Namesake. I would tell everybody to watch that movie. It's by an Indian director called Mira Nair. It's really good. And if you get a chance, watch that movie. It's called Namesake.
Okay. So Black America, I'm sorry, Primary, were you done speaking? I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying it'll tell you everything that we're talking about as far as how you choose your husband and your wife.
Got it. Black America, you can tap the link to come back up here. What's on your mind, brother?
Oh, I was trying to listen. Y'all talking about marriage now, but I like her because just like she just said, she has 3 sons, and you know I got a bunch of daggone kids. And I don't think you and Walter actually know what's going on out here in the streets anymore because you guys are in a bubble. You know, I make a lot of damn money too, but
You
I
know
made
how
my money. I,
I'm just
I,
like,
but 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 I made my money on the streets, and I'm still and in the streets, and I'm still there in the streets. Even though I don't make money like that anymore, I'm still in the streets. I'm still in the neighborhoods every day. And you guys, yeah, yeah,
Me
I
too.
get it.
Me too. Me too.
You guys aren't around those people anymore, so you don't see it. You have a daughter. You know, he has a son. He's telling his son not to date. I'm sorry, Walter. That's the worst thing you tell your son to do. He needs to go get his heart broken as soon as possible so that he can learn how to deal with it. Because that's what they're going to do. They're going to chew him up and spit him out so that every time that happens, he can learn a little lesson from what happens to him.
Well,
If you tell him,
my issue is not with him getting his heart broken. He did that at 8 years old, so he's been through that. I'm talking about financial well-being, the decisions you make when you are dealing with the opposite sex when you are not prepared. That's what I'm talking about. 1, 2. Why would you want to be in the streets? 3, the streets. Most people don't make it out the streets safe. Most people that make money in the streets end up in jail or dead. Most of them, and I do mean most. So I think, like, I'm not from the streets. I've spent some time in the streets, very little. I spent some time on Hillside, but when I was on Hillside, I was getting my black ass in trouble. When I was on rolling through Phoenix Avenue, I was getting in trouble. Every time I get to the street, or what am I? Back in the days, I was doing something stupid. 99% of the time, I was doing something I shouldn't have been. Versus
and look at you now.
well,
And look at you, look at all of the life experience you have now. Look at you where you say that you have done and where you can come from. See, what I'm saying is Ice Cube got a bunch of money, but Ice Cube can come down on 103rd, and nobody's going to say anything to him. He's going to pull up right to his mother's house. Okay, go ahead, Miss D.
I just want to say
his security guards.
Let me say this, because I think
No
unfortunately,
security.
wait. Let me say this, because I think a lot of times we confuse being black for, having it hard, or living in the hood, or living in, the projects. And it's like, that's not the total black experience. I've had it. I'm 52 years old. And for those of y'all don't know, Walter's my biological brother. He's a lot older than me, but we ain't always, we didn't always have it good, if that's what you want to call it. We've been through a lot. We live in the neighborhoods, and we've, lived in good neighborhoods. We've had it all, and you're right. It does shape you. But I think the other thing was missing is we can raise our children from the experiences where we are now. Those of y'all go to church, it says when I was a child, I did the things that children do. But as an adult, I put those things away, and I no longer operate in that way. So if I no longer operate that way, why am I going to raise my child in the way that the things that I experienced. Now, I'm not saying you should totally rob your children of their own experiences, but I'm not gonna raise my daughter from the standpoint of some of the things I went through. I just think that's silly. But as far as Walter telling his son how to deal with women financially, I totally agree. I don't think no man should go out with no woman and spend a whole bunch of money. First of all, I don't even know if I like you like that. I may not want to be. I may not I want to hang out with you. So, but you spending $200-300 on a woman you just met. Now we gonna go to coffee. You may get an ice cream cone or something like that. But I'm not gonna spend
and that's what you don't understand. A woman won't even go out for a coffee date anymore, Demetra.
That's bullshit.
Now, you will because you're old.
Okay, but wait a minute.
Your daughter.
Wait.
Okay.
Whether I'm old or not, because on this show we don't deal with absolutes. We're not gonna deal with absolutes. A woman will not go out to coffee. And I'm gonna say this: if you invite a woman out to coffee and she talking about, nah, but I need to go to State 48, that ain't your woman. You problem solved. You ain't even got to spend $1.50 on the coffee. So
once again, you're old and you're not in the streets and you don't know what these people are. I date women. I told you I date women from your age all the way to your daughter's age.
Wait. Let me clarify this for you, brother. You ain't dating women, you dating thoughts. You dating women that only want to run your pockets, because a woman worth her weight. She ain't just with you for the money. That's part of it, but she's with you for other things. So you got to clarify who you dating. But brother, I would argue with you. I don't feel like it, but you ain't dating no woman worth her weight. You dating young girls or women who ain't got their head screwed on tight. Because I know a lot of women who will go out to coffee with a man because she's trying to get to know the man, not just his pockets.
Once again, you don't date women.
It's
okay.
Both. We got multiple different types of women out there. So
right. But for the most part, but what I'm saying, for the most part, we're older. I'm 50, you're 52, Walter, you say he 100, and then we got Santa Claus over here with the beard. We're old, okay? If you want to date a man, you would have to date a man his age. You couldn't date a 20-year-old and be successful. Not that you couldn't date a 20-year-old. You couldn't date a 20-year-old and be successful. We're talking, if you talk
20-year-old.
They got benefits
for exact. You see what that other old lady said? They got benefits. 20-year-olds got benefits, baby. You best believe it.
What kind of benefits?
Okay, hold on. Why gotta be the other old lady though?
Right.
Because you over 30.
Wait a minute.
Because you over 30.
Wait. Hold on. Let's calm it down a little bit.
Okay.
What kind of benefits does a 20-year-old have?
For one, the main thing that matters to men, 20-year-olds look better. Okay, I much prefer a 25-year-old Holly Berry than this Holly Berry that's running around now, or J-Lo that's running around now. That's the main thing that matters to me. With Walter, where he's at in his life, all he's worried about is the money. Me, I like some yams. I like to get some brown sugary yams. Okay, I'm not so concerned about the money, and because I don't even like spending my money on women. Right. But once again, you guys are at a stage in life where you're older and you don't see what's going on out here with these younger people. My son just got married and I'm so glad. She's a great girl and they are actually in Texas. But you guys don't see how the rest of we was at the wedding. You would be surprised how them young women were acting. It's ridiculous.
But let me say this. So yeah, I'm not hanging around the same people you're hanging around, and that's by design, my brother. I'm not going to be keeping company with derelicts and degenerates, and I'm not going to do that. So yeah, you're right. Now, do I know of some unsavory people? Absolutely, I do. But I don't hang around those type of people. And as a 52-year-old woman, I'm not gonna be dating nobody that's that much younger than me, no way. Especially no 20-year-old. What I look like? I got nephews that's older than that. So I mean, sometimes we got to think about what we're doing. But brother, I'm telling you right now, You ain't dating no woman worth her weight. You dating the ones that want to run your pockets, and yes, she giving you some yams and what? Maybe that's all you want, but don't put that on all women. Put that on the women you surround yourself with.
I didn't say all women, but it is. I'm sorry, Miss D. It's the large majority of women.
The large
You
majority of women you hang out with.
no, it's not the large majority of women that I hang out with. You know, I'm here in Vegas. It is the large majority. If I go on the strip right now in Vegas, it's women coming in from out of town just so they can get fed some beef.
Now,
That's
but
what they come
but
for.
you, but
So
wait
it,
a minute.
Well, yeah,
Can I
and
that's
they'll be
women coming to
and
Vegas. Yeah, they're looking for that stuff. Women go to Vegas to act the fool, but
Okay,
most
but let me
eh,
say this. Let me say this. Yes, there are women, and brother, did you say the strip? Did you
Did you
say the
notice he
strip?
went from you old to Miss D? He
I didn't say
after what
strip.
you said to him, he laid some respect on your name.
He think he's slick. But
Right.
she,
Mine's
she,
more
she ain't
rich
she ain't
like
she
this.
ain't that much older than me, bro.
I don't let Black America bother me. I know what I'm dealing with. I don't let it bother me.
No, it's
But
just funny. It was just
I know
funny.
it is. That's why
I,
I ain't
Hey,
tripping.
hey, Mr. Prybray, I told her she can get laid too. You know what I mean? I told her I would lay her out, massage her up, get some of that baby oil wax that her brother sell. You know what I mean? It ain't no shame in my game. I take them 8 to 80, dumb, crippled, and crazy, crisp and clean with no caffeine. I do all of that. I see, like I said, we from the same generation, you know, and it doesn't bother me. But I would like her, but her daughter looks much more tempting to me, and I will cut that from the herd. You see what I mean? So it doesn't matter to me. I'm no longer married. Thank the Lord. That was the best 150 pounds I ever lost.
Brother,
And I,
brother, it is you trolling. Is you trolling us?
you know, I don't speak anything but the truth, Miss D.
My
man,
God,
ain't nothing
I'm
a
scared.
20-year-old girl could do but find me her mama. My God. And I guess that's the difference when you get to the point where you you care about
Peace.
your future and nothing but your future. Because I tell you all that other stuff. Here's a reenactment. Oh, she look cute. How you doing? My name is Whoopty Whoop. She gonna come over. We gonna make dinner. I'm gonna go through all this stuff. Then I'm gonna go all out, and I'm gonna go all in. I'm gonna give her an hour and a half, and oh, oh. And I'm gonna do all these things. And then the moment Splash Mountain shows up, I'm gonna be like thinking, what the hell am I doing? I just wasted $400 on this. I could have had my retirement. I could have been 2 months closer to retirement. But I spent the down payment on my condo in Somalia on this chick.
Oh my God.
That's the moment I tell you, man. The moment I open my eyes, those are all the thoughts that run through my brain.
You definitely at a
But
different stage, bro.
But you exactly, Walter, because you're still thinking like that, right? But you're thinking like that. If that happens to me, I'll be like, you know what? I'm going to make $400 tonight. It's not it. I'll go to work and make another $400 tomorrow. It's not a big deal. You know what I mean? So I understand what you're saying. You're talking about your future and all of that. I, that's for you. That's very important. So I dig it. I respect it. I understand it. I just don't really care about it.
Well, everybody
At this
can't go
point,
out and make
at this point in
$400
your
a day.
life, at this point in your life, you really don't care about it. That's okay. You're just at that stage and point in your life right now. There's other people who are probably your similar age who maybe, are more interested in their peace and they're quiet. And they don't want to see somebody come in and be too much, because they don't want to have to deal with too much. And sometimes when you start going in them lower ages, they tend to sometimes be a lot more.
Yeah, and at 50, you really should be thinking about that future, you know, because them 50s go by quick.
No, what I mean is my retirement is
Clark is
set.
getting out the park.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr.
What
Park,
what I
Mr. Clark.
what I mean is my retirement is set. My money is good. All the land, houses, and cars and stuff, I own the deeds outright. I'm my biggest thing is how to sell it all and get rid of it so my kids don't fight over it and kill each other. You know what I mean? So that's how to divvy it up is more important to me. My future, I'm gonna ride off into the sunset like John Wayne or Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Well, that's good, and that's what everybody should be. Unfortunately, everybody's not. So we need to get everybody to that point, because when you get to that point, then yeah, you can do more of that stuff. I agree. If your stuff is well put together, then yeah, you can do all that stuff, and you probably should, because you have what you need. But until that point, I think you should spend a lot of your energy. I mean, if you like the woman, you plan on being with her and doing something for the future, yeah, that's cool. But if y'all
Walter,
just
you said something very interesting. And it went by kind of fast, and I want to make sure I caught it right. It sounded like something my father used to say. It's like when you going out with a girl, the first thing you want to do is go meet her mother. And by meeting her mother, you can tell who she's going to be.
Or what kind of woman? Yeah, what kind of exposure she's had, and temperament, and that kind of thing.
yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of times you don't get to meet the mama right away. Um, but I guess my longest relationships have been when I have met the mom. I will give you that. Um, that's for sure, because the mama will tell you a lot. If she's in the mama's in her life, it'll tell you a lot about her. You know, like if you met my kids' mama, you wouldn't date my daughters. I mean, that's real talk. But that's a whole nother conversation. But their father will pick up the slack. And I
Right.
still, I invited me 2 weeks ago. I wouldn't have said that, but sometimes some things have changed. So every move you make should be about stability. I like this woman, but what does she bring to the table? Like the girl I'm seeing now is like, hey, you know what? We need to look at what we each have. I said, this weekend you come over. I want to look at your 401k, your investments. You can look at mine. She already knows mine. I said, I want to look at everything, and I want to see if we are compatible long term, because you're cute. You got long, cute hair and big breasts and little, all that stuff. But I said, every other woman out here got that. Matter of fact, if we sitting at dinner, I'm trying not to do this. I mean, everybody got a big booty and a smile. But do they have a 401k and some land that we can build on? So when we get to the point where, okay, you know what, you're not as cute as you used to be, and I'm not as cute to you, does what we have in common, can we still keep going? Because if you felt like, do you say the best? Oh, somebody said, falling in love. That's insane. It's just you fall versus I like you, but can we do something together? And if you don't have anything, let me show you how to build it. Like I have cut girls loose because they scroll Instagram while we're kicking it. I don't want to date an Instagram chick. I'll give her a couple weeks and some time to get her shit together. But if she don't want to get in the program, I just cut her. She just turned into a TikTok chick or baby oil or whatever. And I don't like doing that to a woman. But like, what are we doing together? And we as a people, I'm telling you, man, even though a lot of us are doing well, we do better by picking up the rest of our people. If you see our people acting fool, like if it was up to me, man, if I was Donald Trump, I was president 2024, I would kidnap these fools. White, black, Haitian, Puerto Rican, every single race should have someone that says, you know what, he's out of here. Next. You know what I'm saying? Until we clean up. Because you can't take somebody like that and fix them. Somebody that's going to do a smash and grab. Like I saw they had this Mexican cat, this big old dude. He's running out the store with his pants down. He ripped his shirt off. He went to smash and grab some jewelry. And I don't know where they were from, the Middle East. They wore his ass out. The grandkids, the grandfather, everybody, the mom came out with the broom. They wore his ass out. Those guys spent their life savings building this jewelry store, and some dude with nothing to lose comes in and just tries to ruin it. Do you know how long it takes to replace 8 pieces of glass in a jewelry store and get the insurance company to write you a check for 40 pieces of jewelry? In the meantime, your business is shut down and your family is at risk. I think we start getting to those kind of conversations like, okay, this guy's over here, he's acting crazy. Let's just deal with him. I think we'll be better off. I'm a proponent of violence when it comes to stuff like that. I'm not talking about against women. I'm talking about against men that are behaving this way, because it is ruining the population, and especially if we're going to keep it the race, it's ruining us. When I see brothers out there acting crazy, I just want to be like, yo, man, what are you doing to us? Because I get out all suited up and I'm the businessman. The media, they don't see me, they see you. And I have to work twice as hard to get on board because they see your dumb black ass out there acting a fool. So when we start checking those dudes, we'll be better off. And we know I got money, I got hoes, and I got, man, get you a piece of land, start putting some money away. And as far as women, what they like, the coffee shop girl is cool. If you, man, I'm telling you, the old me would have got hooked for a Steak 48 chick, because I was just thinking about pouring baby oil all over. But I'm done with that. You know what I'm saying? Like Steak 48, let me see, it's me, her, drinks at the bar, dinner, then after drinks, and then this, man, we $500 tonight. That's a down payment on a Texas condo. Seriously. Which you can bring all kind of women into that condo.
And let me say this, and because Walter's actually speaking about something I speak about a lot. The women need to get the women. We let us handle those women, with the women in our community. Hey, sister. Hey, queen. A, B, C, and D, or whatever. And the men need to hold the men accountable. But I think this is what we need to realize too when it comes to dating. Normally, during dating, the man is going to spend the most money, right? He's going to spend the most money because he's got to pay for dinner. Traditionally, if we're speaking traditionally, he's going to pay for dinner, whatever else is going on the date. The woman, she just dresses, she shows up. So I'm saying to the men, since you are going to be spending money, make sure it's a woman that, if you're going to take her out on a date, take her somewhere small first. You don't even got to go eat. Go to somewhere public, sit down, have a conversation, and have a few conversations. But getting out there,
women won't accept that.
Well, the women you talk to, the thoughts and the city girls and all of them, they ain't going to accept that. But a woman who a woman who is out there seriously dating. See, y'all, we got to give it proper context. We're not talking about the women that's a girl's got to eat and I need a bag and ow. We ain't talking about those women you like to date. We're talking about a woman who's like, listen, I'm trying to find a man or a man find me that I can settle down, as they say in the nation, to a good choice. This man he checks all the boxes that's necessary to sustain a relationship. And if this man wants to take me out to coffee or he wants to take me out to a park and we sit up and talk or whatever, then I'm with it, right? But if you're looking for a woman who's just looking for short-term gratification, then there's a whole lot of women out there that'll do that with you. But there's a lot of the women like me that's looking for a long-term. I don't, when we can get to the eat now, I'm playing base now. And so I'm probably going to be a cheat date. But we can get to that later on. But as a woman, I don't want to be sitting at dinner with you if you ain't a match for me either, because I don't want to spend an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours sitting at a table with a dude that I already know is not for me. I'd rather go on a 30-minute, little 40-minute, hour, whatever date, and we talk, and I can say, yeah, I'd like to see him again. Or, no, I don't think I'm going to see him again, right? So that's what mature people do. Mature people ask those questions. Now, Black America, if that's what you're into, that's what you're into. Got a lot of money to burn, for ass, because that's basically what I'm getting from that. If that's what you want to do, that's on you. But then for men and women who are seriously trying to be with somebody who's going to help them build, then yeah, you're going to have to be strategic in what you're doing. It's just a fact.
Can I ask you a question, Miss D?
I'm scared, but yeah.
All right. Do you ever, I know you say you don't be on the internet a lot, and for the most part, besides family members as far as young women? Do you interact with young women on the street and see how they act? Do you talk to them? Do you go and have group meetings with them? Do you do anything like that?
You know what? I don't have group meetings, but for example, as a young lady, she's in her 30s. I gave her some really good advice today, and I, told her sometimes we need to check ourselves when it comes to relationship. I had a nice long conversation with her about being feminine and masculine, and some of the things we do as women sometimes does come off as masculine, even though we don't realize it. And she said, I never thought about things like that. So I have conversations with people all the time on here and in real life. So I'm not new to this. I don't, this bubble you say I live in, I don't know what that is, but I have conversations with people from all walks of life. But what you cannot do is apply the little bubble you in with the thoughts and the women who want to run your pockets to everybody else. Why don't you try dating up a little bit? But maybe you're not there yet. Maybe you just want to have a little fun or whatever the case is. And there's nothing wrong with that, because I'm sure you're honest with these women. But you cannot apply your dating strategy to every woman or every man.
No. And this is what I'm saying. You can apply it to every man, because we are all looking for a woman as a man. You think I like running through a bunch of chicks? No. Yes. Every man wants one woman to call home. Every man wants that. Now, if they go out and do something else, that's a little bit different. But every man wants one woman to call home. So what I'm telling you is, Mr. Pryor, how you say your name? Pryor Brain?
Pirate Brain, yeah.
Mr. Pryor Brain, are you married at this current time?
No, I'm not.
Are you dating women at this current time?
No, I'm not.
Can you please explain why you're not dating women at this current time?
That's if you want to.
Well,
you don't have to.
No, I'll go ahead and explain it. My plan is, I got my passport. My plan is I'm leaving the country. I don't want to date here. And the reason why is because the laws here are not conducive to relationships here, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. And I've traveled to different places and I see the difference. And I think it's like what you were saying about the women. I think men need to be checking the men, like what Walter was saying, but we can also check the women by leaving them alone. If you stop chasing after these, I saw a video today where it was a beautiful woman, black woman. She was talking about with this accent, well, if you don't cut my beef and you don't cut it up, even if the beef come to my table cut, you still need to cut it up in smaller pieces for me. If you're not going to cut my steak for me, then I don't know what we dating for. You want to bounce up and down on this booty here, you need to be cutting my steak for me. Why would you even want to go out with somebody like that?
Okay, but Mr. Piebrain, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Personally, when you've been out in a restaurant, have you ever seen a woman act that way?
No, I've never seen it. I have never seen it.
So you know that most of the time that sensational things get put on the internet. It's rarely that, like we go to restaurants all the time and we see people acting civilized and they're, this, that, and the other. Why don't we put that stuff on the internet? Wow, there's a black woman over there and she's beautiful. She's soft spoken. And why don't we put her on the internet? But the minute that woman gets the we bring out the because
no. But my experience why I want to go to another country to date in terms of getting married is because of my life experience. It's not because I saw something on the internet. Look, I was with a woman for 7 years. When I had a heart attack, she left me, right? That shows her character right there.
That's what I was looking for. Thank you very much.
Girlfriend.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, I'm glad she left me then.
He had a stroke.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Laura, let him finish. Hold on 1 second.
I got him. I'm with him on that. So I feel him on that.
So that's what happened. So, and I've had a few experiences similar to that. And I'm like, well, it's not worth it to get married because the laws are not fair. The laws are in the favor of women. That's why women are searching for people to exploit and get divorced from. They even have things called starter husbands.
What's that?
You know, and let's say Walter does all of this work to build up his money, and a woman comes up and finds and said, he would make a great starter husband for me. You get married, and there's a couple years, and then boom, she hits you up for the divorce. And that's why they're changing the laws now. I think Tennessee was the first one to start changing these no fault divorce laws that kicked in place ever since the movie Kramer versus Kramer.
Yeah. So let me just say this real quick that I mean, I personally have witnessed and like I said, I know a person I literally grew up with probably from third grade. You know, a friend of mine, lady who in essence did the same thing to her husband, right? And I think this is where we as women have to hold each other more accountable and really make it more not so acceptable to just walk away because I keep saying that, like, we really are the ones. We're not built like our grandmas. We love to say the men are built like our grandpas, but we are not. We are not sticking it through the hard and, you know, the good and the bad. A lot of us are, you know, listening to bad advice and people and throwing good men around, good men away. Or men who have been there for you for 20, 30 years, and he gets sick, and now, you know, and think about it, 20 years, your child is now grown. So your child is grown, and your money is a little different. Now he's sick. It's like you don't want to do that no more. Now you ready to go off and, you know, go to the island or something. And that's just not fair. That's not fair. I mean, I just, as a woman, I'm sorry that happened to you because nobody would want that to happen to any of us.
Let me say this. Yes, that is horrible, Mr. Pie Brain, that happened to you. But as I said, I'm an equal opportunist, if you will. Those things have happened to men and women. This is not a woman thing where women just up and leave people. Hell, I've been left before. You know, I have.
But we do more, but we filed the divorces.
Wait, what we do, we don't know. What we know is from the internet. What we know is from the
internet. Yeah, but we need to go with statistics, though, Demetrius.
Okay, but wait a minute. So I get it. Women file for divorce more and all this other stuff, but are we saying that is one reason why women file divorce? Some of it is probably bullshit. A lot of it is probably bullshit reasons. They just gonna find themselves. Yeah, they're probably doing that too.
Miss D. Miss D, can I say something?
No. Wait, let me finish. Because I be sitting here. Y'all saw me get up. My daughter's making something, and she left out of here, and she left an eye on the stove on, and there's gas in here, so I may be a little loopy right now. Okay. Damn, I forgot. Oh, men and women do horrible things to each other. But as I said, I've had men do horrible things to me. But I'm not running around here talking about black men. I'm gonna go get me a white man.
But you never heard me say that. I was just telling you my story. You said go ahead.
I know, but I'm saying, you know, I'm just going off the whole conversation of how, because you did say, you know, you're done dating here, and that's your choice. Nobody's, you know, forcing you to stay.
No, but and look, I'm not mad at her either, because first of all, she didn't realize I had all my insurance policies intact. So my car was paid off, my house is paid, everything. You know, I'm okay.
Right.
So she should have stayed.
That shouldn't have mattered.
But
that shouldn't have mattered.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, she just doesn't sound like for whatever reason, her reasons are her reasons why she left. She did not leave you. She left you in a horrible way. Thank God you were here with us, Mr. Pie Brain. But doesn't sound like, you know, she was a thick and thin type of girl. She just wasn't, right? And from what you tell us, she just wasn't, right? When it got real thin, she was like, all right, I'm out of here. That happens a lot. That happens to men. It happens to women. But guess what? All men and all women ain't doing that to people. There's a lot of good people who are out there. Hell, I'm cool with people I ain't even with. Like I got a lot of friends. One just called me right now. You know, if he was in a bad way and he didn't have nobody to help him, I would stop what I'm doing and I will go be by his side until he gets better, until he leave here, whatever it is. But that ain't my man. That's my friend. So the point that I'm making is there's good people out there and there's bad people out there, but we got to stop with this narrative that you know, these women that's doing it more than men.
There was a woman that came by my side and helped me out after she left. So I'm not saying that at all.
Right. She wasn't your woman, but she was a good woman.
Right? Exactly. So I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I don't want to, you know, at this point in my life, I'd rather go to a country where the marriage laws are different from our laws so that I know that if I do decide to get married, it's going to stick.
You gonna,
right?
So you going to stay over there married?
Yeah, I'm going to stay over there. I ain't bringing it back.
Yeah, I mean, and I get it, you know.
You ain't gonna let the water get to her over here. Now you just keep over there.
But lady, Laura, let me say this, because me and Donovan, we had this conversation all the time. All you American, you know, black women or American women, y'all influencing the other women. So I'm saying, y'all going to be with some dummies. Those women are dumb enough. And the other thing is this. Come on, let's do some mental math here.
You don't know until you in it.
Wait a minute.
That was very mean of you to call them dummies. I mean, that was super mean.
I'm doing deductive reasoning. What the assessment is that don't bring her over here because she gonna be influenced. And I even hear about the women that are over there. They being influenced by Western women. They being influenced. So what you're saying is those women don't have the sense God gave a cricket. And what you're also saying is they don't see good women, well-behaved women. So they would rather emulate or mimic the bad women opposed to the good women. Like, what are we saying here about? And if that's the case, come on, let's do some thinking. Why on earth would you want to go over and be with another woman that is so influential? Or so influenced. Why would you want to go be with that type of woman?
Let me just say this. I will say, as a mother of 3 sons, I have one son who is...
You want me to answer that question?
No, hang on. I have one son who is very traditionally based. He's like an engineer. He likes things organized. He likes them rules. There's right, there's wrong. He's not a gray person. Dating for him is tough in America. As his mother and a professional 30 years as well, I would tell him the same thing when I told him earlier, is that I love you to death. But the type of woman you want, traditional, a little more, submissive, a little quieter, they don't make them like that here that much. Not saying they not here. They just don't make them here like that. It's not a normal. It's not.
But that's a lie, though.
It's not a lie. It's not a lie.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on. Because I'm one. And I got a daughter who's 30 years old. That's also one.
I'm one, and my daughter is one.
Right. So
you're not one, Miss D. I'm sorry. You're not. You have too much pushback. You're not one.
You're not even letting me finish. Hold on. Wait, let me tell you why.
Wait. No. Okay. Hold up. Black Americans, the last time I'm going to address this about me and who I am to you. Now, to my man, I am submissive, but I'm not submissive to every man. And I think that's what y'all got messed up. Y'all think sisters any and everywhere, high, low, and all these other places supposed to listen to you when you say she jumped. She's supposed to say how high. If you ain't got no rapport with that sister, you ain't that sister's man, then you ain't got no business trying to tell her what to do. You can tell your woman what to do. but you can't tell me what to do. And I'm not
Okay, 10 seconds.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
10 seconds. Hold on. So that's the same thing. So that's the same thing. Men shouldn't protect women then, because a man has no allegiance to a woman. Now go ahead. I'm done.
That's apples and oranges, brother. That's apples and oranges. You see a woman getting beat up, that's on you if you want to do something about it. But because every woman ain't running around taking orders from you, yeah, how do you conflate the two? That don't even make any sense.
See, I didn't say that. That's because
Demetra, you know, normally we in agreement, but you kind of stuck your foot in that one.
Yeah,
okay,
you did.
Do tell.
Because you're expecting men to behave a certain way towards women, but women don't have to reciprocate that behavior, and that's not fair.
Wait, because what I am is very linear in the things that I think and the things that I say. That argument of a woman needs to listen to a man that's not hers, opposed to a man protecting. Wait a minute, because me in Black America, we have this quite often. When he says,
okay, so I don't know what you and him talking about, because I was on something else.
What I'm saying is this. And y'all brothers, y'all need to really get this in y'all head. Y'all don't have the right to tell all women what to do. You got a right to tell
Did you just say y'all brothers?
I said y'all brothers. Y'all brothers. Okay? Y'all don't have the right. Y'all don't have the right to tell every woman what to do. You can tell your woman what to do, and half the time that woman don't even listen to y'all. So why do y'all think y'all can get on the World Wide Web and tell me or any other woman that's not yours what to do?
Because we would have to give our lives for said woman. You want us to protect said woman. All right, I'm going back on mute. I just had to get that.
Yeah, I said that is your choice.
You just came over here and got her round up.
I said that is your choice if you want to protect that woman. Nobody is making you do that. But don't try to make the argument, because it's not the same argument. They're just not. They don't even go on the same page at all.
It's kind of worse, because your life is worth more than just.
Brother, if I cannot make you, hold on. Let's bring it full circle. If I cannot make you go protect another woman that's not your own, what makes you think that you can make a woman listen to you that's not your own?
I agree with you. I agree with you on that. So where are we going?
I don't know where we came with the strange men telling.
Do you want me to answer?
Yeah, because this is between y'all. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Ms. Demetra, Mr. Pirate Brain just said that you don't have to listen to a man, or you said you don't have to listen to a man, and he's saying that our lives are more valuable than that. Now, if a man is going to give his very life for you, it's been men that jumped into fights for women and gotten taken out. That doesn't always happen, but it is a distinct possibility that if you jump in a fight with a man and his woman, that something is going to happen to you. Now, I really don't care either way about it, about giving my life. I was a firefighter, so I would gladly give my life. Military, I'd gladly give my life for anyone. I don't give a shit. But the problem is, if you have a woman who talks greasy and is egregious and is mean and is rude and is condescending, and the list goes on, women on a whole, not you, you have made it to a certain age. Women on a whole, but not you, they are doing this out on the streets.
Stay away from those women. That goes back to the company that you keep. I
think I told you I used to work for TDCJ and I worked for the sheriff department.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I know for a fact situations where police are called on the scene and there's a domestic argument, and the man just got finished whooping on her behind, right? And the police come in there to take him away, and she jumps on the police officer's back, is trying to take him away, and is beating on him. And next thing you know, they both jumping on him. This happens. So to get involved in those situations, that is actually one of the most dangerous situations that any officer can get involved in.
Can I keep it a buck with y'all? Because I be trying to be good on here, but I got to speak my truth, okay? And I'm gonna say this in advance. Please forgive me if you do not choose to forgive me. Then that's on you. It's a free country, and I'm gonna say this.
You know we love you, girl. Go ahead, say that shit.
I love you too. I'm glad we here. I'm glad we got a mutual understanding. But I'm still gonna say what I got to say.
I forgive you in advance.
Thank you. Okay, I want to say this. No, nobody has to go do anything for anybody. I just have grown up watching my father protect women that were not his. I've seen him do it a bunch of times. And yes, he ended up getting his hip broken in the process of trying to, it was a black man. Guess they were his women somehow. They were fighting each other. And my dad tried to break it up, and he ended up getting slung to the ground and having his hip broken. And he has not walked the same since. But one thing I will tell you about my father is I know that he would do it again. We were on a cruise, and I told y'all the story, on a cruise in June, and he saw a brother going at this sister. And my dad was like, getting up. I said, man, where you going? I'm going to go over there and see if there's something I can say. I said, not today. No, because that brother, he was big mad, and he was big. So I said, no, Daddy, sometimes you just got to let stuff play out. So I'm saying, yes, it's a choice whether you want to do that or not. Now, this is where I'm going to need y'all to forgive me. I think it's a lot of bitch assness going on where a lot of men who are making excuses as to why they would not protect a woman. I get it. It's your own personal choice. But the men that I know, if they saw a woman getting it handed to her or whatever, I think they would at least try to say, hey, man, what are you doing? Could you stop or something? But because this is the other thing. We do see a lot of people doing this. They doing all the filming, world star. So if you could pick up a phone, surely you could say, hey, brother, don't do that. Or hey, man, or whatever. Don't do that. Right? So that's just my opinion. I'm going to stand on. I think it takes a lot of bitch ass mentality to say, well, it ain't my woman. It ain't my problem. Because God forbid that it is your woman who is maybe walking to the store or in the store and some sadistic fool from the suburbs, quoting the Mac, does something to her. And the last thing you're going to want to hear is a man say, well, that ain't my woman. What did she do to him before? I don't know. You would at least want that man to say, hey, man, stop. Knock it off. At the very least, help, police, something. But to say it ain't my business, I think that takes a bitch ass mentality for a man to say that. And I would hope that if I'm ever in the way that somebody is doing something to me, some man, Jimmy the Cricket, Mickey Mouse, Grimace, or somebody would say, hey, leave her alone. Stop. Or intercede in some type of way. Now, I get it. There's a lot of sisters out there that's antagonizing and doing some stuff they should not be doing. But that ain't all sisters. And so what I'm saying to y'all as black men, don't let the little shit you see as I'm cussing. Don't let the shit you see on the internet with some of these hard-headed ass women deter you from helping a woman who don't act like that. I'm not saying risk your life. And sometimes, as Malcolm X said, freedom ain't free. It's going to cost somebody something. But I'm not a man. And I've seen, I was at one Christmas day, I was at Rite Aid, as God is my witness, waiting for my daughter to come out. And there was this brother, he was trying to beat this woman's ass. Now, I don't know what she said to him. I don't know what happened when it was in that store, but I got out of the car and I said, hey, brother, I said, I don't think you want to do that. I said, you're getting a lot of attention. I said, do you want to go to jail on Christmas night? Because he didn't see me sitting in the car. I could have very easily went under the seat and not said nothing. But I said, let me at least try to say something to him. And he said, oh, it surprised him because he saw me and he stopped. And I was able to have like a 10-minute conversation with both of them. I said, listen, I don't know what happened. I said, but neither one of y'all want to go to jail. I said, you do not want to put your hands on his sister. And you know what he said to me? He says, well, she be talking to me all any kind of way. And I said, sister, sometimes our mouth is a little too sharp. We have to watch what we say. And do you know, those people got in the car and they left. Nobody got their ass beat. But what if I didn't say something? What if I would have sat there? That man would have been going to jail. He probably would have whooped her ass because he was damn sure trying to do it. But I put my life on the line as a woman and said, maybe there's something I can say. Now, I wasn't going to physically get in the middle of it, but I was going to try to lend my voice and some wisdom to it. But we got to get to a point to where we stop applying the stuff that we see. And maybe you've seen some in real life or whatever, but we can't apply it to everybody. We got to stop doing that blanket approach because, as I'm going to say again, in my opinion, I think it takes some bitch assness to do that.
All right, can I make a quick comment?
If you ever in trouble, just put up the pirate signal up to the cloud, and I'll be there.
I appreciate that.
And what I'm going to say is a man is not going to look at you as a threat. A man walking up to another man, when me or Mr. Pirate Brain or even Walter walk into a room, we automatically look at men to see if they have a limp. We look at them to see if they have a gimpy arm. We look at them to see if both of their eyes are correct because we size other men up to see what kind of damage that man can do to us and what kind of damage we can inflict on a man. It is natural. It's instinctual.
Yeah, that was kind of loud, whatever that was.
Yeah,
I mean, I hear you, but I just, at the end of the day, as I say this, and I said this to somebody today, Black women, we do got to start checking Black women, the women we know, hey, sister, hey, young, lady, this is A, B, C, and D, and the men need to start doing the same. Because regardless of whoever it is, and I say this too a lot, we got to start teaching our children coping skills. Because at the end of the day, if that woman, I don't care who she is, was bricked in the face because she did not give her number out, if that's the true story, I don't know if it is. Lord knows I ain't trying to go back down that avenue. We got to start teaching people coping skills. People are allowed to tell you no. It's a part of life. I've done sales. A lot of you on here probably done sales, and they tell you, you got to, you keep selling and you're going to get a lot of no's, but eventually you're going to get the yes, right? It's a numbers game. Everybody ain't going to tell you yes. But the people who tell you yes, make something of that. But if somebody tells you no, why do you have it in your mind that you are able to harm somebody because you can't get your way with them? That's an issue. That's an issue for anybody, whether it's a man or a woman, that feel like I'm scared to tell somebody no. It's like a child, right? Most of us have children, have had children. You ever try to tell your child no? Do you acquiesce that nonsense or do you snatch him up and you say, I told you no for your own good? Or do you just let them do it, right? So we got to start teaching those skills again. And most importantly, we got to start teaching emotional intelligence to teach each other how to stay in control of our emotions. People, I've been rejected. Rejection hurts, especially when it's from something or somebody that you really want. That shit sucks. But you don't get it in your mind, well, I'm going to go do something to them, or I'm going to, make them sorry. I tell y'all, we told you the story before. I have a cousin that's doing a life bid, because his wife divorced him for whatever, reasons. She had her reasons. She would not go back to him. He took the life of their children and told her, I will make you sorry for the rest of your life because he could not understand, no, I will not go back in a relationship with you. He murdered their children because he did not possess coping skills to deal with somebody telling him no. So Black America, when you say that I live in this bubble, you don't know what I know. I don't talk about everything that I know, but what I do know is we got to start teaching our people common sense and how to cope and how to use emotional intelligence. Nothing else matters if we don't know how to do those things. And that's why I tell y'all, I'm on the internet because I have to work and I got to get stories from the internet. But most of the time I choose to do other stuff besides be off the internet because I know there's a lot of things on there shaping our minds. There's things telling us this and that and this and that. And if you don't have the wherewithal to do some deductive reasoning and say, okay, that sounds plausible, but let me trust but verify, then you're going to fall into the loop of misinformation that's going around all the time. At some point in time, we got to just start thinking, being critical thinkers. I'm big on that. I'm big on being critical thinkers because we waste too much time on the stuff that's not true and the stuff that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think that Somalian lady, I think she really triggered you the way you thought. I don't believe that it happened the way that we think it did. And I could be wrong. I wasn't there. I have a hard time believing that it happened that way.
And I'm not, listen, like I said, and I'm gonna say it again. I don't know that lady. I was not there. I don't know what happened. But what I do know is if it did not happen, that'll come out. She'll have to deal with that. Who was that heifer that ran off and said somebody kidnapped her and had the whole world, it was a couple months ago, whole world of Alabama looking for it. One thing they're going to do is get to the bottom of it, right? If that lady is lying, she got to deal with that. But there are some cases where it's not a lie. And I'm not saying to apply that to everybody, but at the end of the day, we do know that there are people, a lot of women, I'll say some women, who are not here anymore due to saying no. Those are facts. Now, is it all men that do that to women? Absolutely not. But it does happen. And again, if that lady is lying, she is going, guess what? That lady is lying. Her life is ruined for the rest of it. That lady will not be able to say anything without people questioning it ever again. That will affect her for the rest of her life if she's lying.
She won't even be able to get that GoFundMe money out.
There you go. Because GoFundMe, they ain't with the fraud and the scamming. They not. I'm sure a lot of people have written GoFundMe and they're probably watching it. They're probably saying, okay, we gonna keep an eye on it or whatever the case is. So again, I don't know that lady. It may not be true. It may be true, but I really think we have a lot of underlying issues, and we really do need to teach our people emotional intelligence. And if you can Google it. It's pretty interesting if you learn about it.
Yeah, and that was pretty much what I was saying from a while back now, is that this type of conversation needs to be had, and it needs to be had at multiple levels within our people, because we are at war with each other, period. And we shouldn't be. It's destructive to our culture. It's destructive to us. And it has you're right, Dee, on that. It's a huge piece of it is this emotional immaturity that is just taken hold of our younger people, just our people in general, because hell, some of them be old and be acting like this. So, I won't even put an age on it, but it is, because let's not forget the young lady that was unalived in Alabama by the basketball players, right? that too was they were at a dance party or something, and he said no, and that was the end of her, right? And she had a young child and everything else. So I'm not saying that, you know, these situations don't happen in Black America. Of course they do, you know. It's just like I said, I want us to not just bash on, well, why didn't anybody jump in, and what happened to the Montgomery feel, and that sort of thing, because it goes deeper than that, because it really is, we have to find ways to get these types of conversations to our people, women and men, because women are sometimes the cause and sometimes they're just the bystanders. Both ways, but it all comes down to what you said. It absolutely comes down to emotional maturity.
Yeah, and we gotta get a handle on that. So I'm gonna give Mr. Pirate Brain. You got anything to say? Then I'm gonna give Walter the last word. I know he said I know my brother. I know he like Lord have mercy. But
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for having me on. And it's been a pleasure talking to all of you guys. I really appreciate it. And this was a good conversation to be had. And I know Walter usually talks about the money situation. And I listen, even though sometimes I don't come up to have anything to say, but I do listen. I'm always, what do you call it, ninja watching. But yeah, I love you guys, and thank you very much for having me on.
love you too, Mr. Pirate Brain. Be safe out there.
Okay, take care. Bye bye.
Yes, and Miss Laura, you have any last words?
No, blessed to be here, and appreciate this. This has been very, very enjoyable. So thank you both. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, and come back and see us.
I will.
Right.
Thanks.
Walter.
No, it was a good show. We got a lot. I'm glad we got a chance to level it out and actually talk some common sense. I think we are on the right track, and I hope the sister, she get the GoFundMe. I hope she invested, do the right thing.
Absolutely. So anyway, I love and appreciate you all dearly. I see Kiki and Money Man, y'all having a heated conversation. I do see the comments. I just don't I have time to put them all up, but y'all have at it. But anyway, I do love and appreciate all of you. And Grace Kelly, how you doing? It says when people show you who they are the first time, leave them alone. You can't change them. I don't care how cute, fine, whatever. If they are rude, disrespectful, toxic, that's who they are. You know what? I love that we ended on that, because yeah, people show us who they are all time. And Walter, one financial question. It was and somebody wanted me to talk about life insurance. I have talked about it, and I will. But Big Hair says, Walter, what should I invest in?
I mean, there's a million things to invest in, but what I'm doing, what I would do if I was starting over, is one, I would build my cash reserve, make sure I had some money to take a break if something went wrong, if I just wanted to take, a few minutes to myself. Two, I would start buying land, real estate, something that you can own, even if you bought something and you built on it over a period of time. I would do that, because there's nothing more powerful, in my opinion, than owning a piece of property, owning land, something that you can say, you know what, I can drive my RV up on it or pull my car up on it, and I can sit here and do what I feel like doing. If I want to camp out here for a week, it's my land, I can do it. So I would say acquiring a piece of land doesn't have to be a house yet. I have land that I'm building on. It may take me some time, but I just know, like, if I want to pull my RV up on there and hook it up to my water source, I'm going to do that. And I think no matter what happens at the end of the day, I can go there, park my stuff, or go to my house there, and it's mine. So I think I would invest in peace of mind. Invest in stuff that you understand. If you like making scissors, or you like scissors, find a way to find them cheap and sell them to people and teach them how to operate them properly. Be it walk with them, down, how to clip, how to cut, whatever. Another thing too, it's kind of weird, is I would start, when it comes to investing, I would start cutting expenses. I know y'all notice I'm bald headed. I was giving my bartender, Lord have mercy, cutting her too. My barber, $100 a month, plus it was taking me 2 hours a month to get my hair cut. And so I said, you know what? One day I was going to get my hair cut, and I just went with the razor. I just shaved it to the back. I was like, I'm committed. And I said, $100 a month over 30 years at 12% is $350,000, plus the 2 hours I got back, which I could be doing something else with those 2 hours instead of listening to my barbers talk about bitches and hoes. And so little things like that. I eat once a day, sometimes two, which gives me a lot of hours to do other stuff. So you can start investing in yourself, your time. I stopped shopping and buying clothes. You see me, I wear almost the same stuff every day. Some days I wear the same clothes, same jeans 3 days in a row. So I cut my expenses, and then that's money you can put somewhere else. So invest in something that you know. Start a business, try something. Everybody should be suicidal once in a while. You should start a business.
Wow. And we are talking about business. We ain't talking about for real. And I would say this as we're getting out of here. My one piece of advice before you start investing, and I actually got this from Walter, is look at your bank account. There's a lot of people who are afraid to look at their bank account. I don't want to look because I'm scared. You know, I'm gonna find out I ain't got as much money or whatever the case is, right? And so, and I know there's people who do it. They just won't look. And Walter said you should look every day, right? So I've started to do that more. Like, oh, okay, because I'm one of those people. I kind of know when I'm spending and what's going in and out, but I do look. But look into your bank account to see exactly what you're spending. I used to be a personal banker, and I would have people come in. I don't understand how I'm overdrawn. I just don't know what happened. I go, okay, all right, so sit down. Let's look into your bank account. Okay, were you aware that you spent this money on this and this money on that or not? Well, yeah, I did. Okay, well, yeah, I did do that. Well, that's where your money is going. But why are you making a trip, wasting gas, coming all the way to the bank to complain? I don't know how I'm overdrawn. Well, you could have just logged in yourself and look, and I call it, you got to have that come to Jesus moment, right? Like you really got to be honest and say, all right, I'm going to log in and I'm going to see what it is I'm doing. Because you know, you're going to log in there and see that you're eating out, you do 5 times a week, or you're spending money on clothes, a pair of jeans. I'm like, Walter, I got 2 pair of jeans. I got a pair of black ones and a pair of blue ones. I got a closet full of jeans. I got 2 legs though, so I can only. So you got to look and see where your money is actually going. Because I was having a conversation with somebody today, and they said, I need to get another job. I said, you just got a second source of income, and you're worse. You're worse off financially. So I said, so do you really think it's about the money you're making, or is it about the money you're not keeping? And he says, well, I ain't think about it that way. And it's like, well, when I asked him, said, when is the last time you looked in your bank account? Well, I haven't. I said, so then how do you know, like, you don't know what you're bringing in. You don't know what you're spending out. That's why you're in the situation you're in. So that's my advice. Stop being a scaredy cat. Log into your account and scroll down and see what it'll tell you on the top of your bank account statement, online, I think, and on the regular statement, how much money you brought in for the month and how much money you spent for the month. And then you can even go into a section of it and it'll itemize what you spend: fast food, groceries, clothing, gas, bills. It'll show you all the money you spent. And if you really want to get deeper, take the time and go down item by item by item by item and say, okay, this is what I'm spending. But damn, I didn't know I was spending $300 a month eating out at Taco Bell for lunch, right? So you gotta stop being afraid, dive up in there, do a deep dive into your bank account and get real, because it's not about getting another job and another job. It's about keeping the money you already have for the most part. So anyway, I love and appreciate every last one. Hello, Brother Don. We're about to get out of here. And for those of y'all that came on here, Dwight says, I buy my booze in bulk now. Hey, sometimes you got to buy stuff in bulk. It is a lot cheaper. It's about knowing. So I won't begrudge you of a little liquor. Anyway, I love and appreciate every last one of y'all. You guys, please have a great evening. I will be back here with Donovan on Sunday. Hopefully by then I won't be as jet lagged as I am. And of course, we'll get into our trip to Tokyo. It was very enlightening. One thing I will tell you is don't go over to Tokyo or to Asia or Japan or wherever if you're greedy. Don't go to Japan if you're greedy, because they don't give you the portions that we get here. They get the hamburgers by like that big. And at first it's shocking because it's like, what am I supposed to do with that? But then you eat it and you're fine. So anyway, I'll see you guys later. Y'all have a great evening. Peace.